All right, here we go. Whew, easy as that. Ain't no crazy introduction or nothing. Beneath the ink, here we go, Miss Janae.
Yes.
What's going on? What's been going on? What's been going on beneath the ink?
Beneath the
We go.
Like, where do we want to start? Because I mean, we want to go back to the previous, because we did 2 interviews, but the one that we both talk a lot about was rules of engagement.
Yeah, the dating and the apps
dating
and
the
all that.
relationships and apps. Are you still on apps?
Nah.
You
Hell
know?
nah. I ain't been on the app since that shit.
Really?
Hell yeah.
I've been on and off. Like, I'll download and then I'll chop it up with someone, and then it will be like real life chemistry. And then I'm like, okay, let's take this off of this app.
Yeah.
Then we exchange phone numbers, we call, we hear voice, we FaceTime, but then it never goes outside of that. And I kind of felt like that was like a cycle. And then it's just like, I work a lot. So like if I'm at work, of course I'm not gonna be able to give you attention. And then when it's time to like reach out, then it's just like maybe they feel some kind of way because I'm not reaching out soon enough, or I don't know what it is. But then I'm like the overanalyzing, overthinking on things. So I just delete it. So
yeah,
I haven't been. I've never been on a date with someone outside of these apps. But I feel like it was a kind of like an ego thing. Like being able to see that, oh, this person like me, this person is like feeling that good energy, or like, so that's damn, what you I'm said. Bored.
That's what you said last time. Remember on the episode?
Yeah,
you said that.
I feel like that's still the same thing. It's
so
like
what? Because you definitely said that you have like some things that you felt different about. What were those things? Because I watched it and I'm like, boy, I'm the same.
You still the same?
100%. I was cracking up. I'm like, I feel the exact same way. Also, too. Well, we'll get to me later, but yeah, what did you want to change? Like, or what did you?
I feel like I'm in a different space than where I was prior to that video. And I mean, like, I'm starting to put myself out there more. Although I'm not in dating apps, I am like putting myself out, like, okay, I'll get up and be like, Janae, you know you could do better than this. Like, like I look in the mirror and be like, I could, it's not even just me, you know, enhancing my beauty or like enhancing the things that I have, or like dressing up nice. It's just more of taking more care of myself. And I literally have to look in the mirror like, would you date you?
That's that part right there.
Yeah, and I say that all the time now.
That goes hella different ways too. I go a lot of different ways with that. Yeah.
For real. So it's just like, am I in the position to date someone else? And am I in the position like, okay, would you really date yourself?
Yeah.
Like looking around your home, is your home the way that you want your significant other's home to be? Are you dressed the way, like if you were to go, like, and that's where I started to like really check myself on that too, because I'll go out all the time in sweats, t-shirts, and sneakers, put my hair in a bun and go grocery shopping. Now I'm like, okay, Janae, you got all these clothes in the closet that you barely wear. Throw something on more presentable.
Yeah.
Put a little bit of mascara on, like do something, and then go out and get your groceries.
Because you never know who you're gonna meet,
who you're gonna meet, who you're gonna run into, and I'm starting to feel, and I'm, you know, power of manifestation. I always say that. So like, I'm starting to journal. Like I got a prayer book. It's like prayers to my future husband. Like I'm literally setting myself up for that because I still believe in that, and there's someone out there for me. So I continue to set. Before I was just like, you know, if I see somebody, then that's what it is, you know. But now it's more like I'm literally setting up. I'm setting up my space. I'm setting up.
You're getting ready.
I'm preparing myself for my future.
That part, because I'm so glad you said that, because that's kind of something that we had went over on that episode. I remember saying, when I watched it, I remember saying like, if you haven't met this requirement, if you're not like winning to this level or whatever it is, like if you don't have like a stable job, or, you know, all these kind of little things that somewhat supports like stability or whatever, like you had no business being on the app. I remember saying that on that business. So that's pretty much what you're explaining. Like if you ain't feeling, you know, yourself, you're not showing up how you think, you know, how you should be showing up.
As you
should. Yeah. So even how you saying like, how you're getting your, you know, your place ready and this and that, making space. I see a lot of women. It's just my experience. I've just been, been peeping, that they don't necessarily do that. You know what I mean? And then the message they put out, and then this gets into like I joke and I laugh. Like sometimes I'll say like, man, what these girls with these boyfriend dogs and all that, like very like their dog is like they man, like they're very or even just like or their kids. You feel me? It's like me and my kings and this and that. It's like two sons. It's like you put off like the impression that like you good, you know what I'm saying? Which is fine because you are probably good with that. But like it kind of puts out to the man like, okay, well, what do I get in? I gotta like it's like double dutch. I'm trying to get in where I fit in type of thing. So I think I commend you on that. Like you're making space for that other person to come in.
So you feel like it's a sense of comfortability, like they're too comfortable.
That and it's sometimes I think it's almost like defense mechanisms too. You feel me? Like I'm good, like that very independent. I'm good. I got this. I don't need
that's that masculine
energy. If somebody could get in and and add to my situation, it's just very. It does. It comes off very masculine, and then a lot of men are just like, well, shit, you good. They do. You know what I'm saying? Like it puts up a wall. You feel me? Where I don't think you have to be needy and be like, I need a man, but like I like how you're putting it. Like you're almost like feeding into yourself. You're feeding yourself, making sure your space is a certain way to where a man would almost feel more comfortable, like entering that space, as opposed to I gotta hop over this fence to get to you, or I gotta fight this dog or your little Frenchie or whatever running around. I'm trying to, you know what I mean? Like
I feel like also it's still important to create boundaries, but I also understand like I feel like also you are what you attract. So the people that are coming to me are different now too. Like the individuals that I'm being approached by, and it'll be like great conversation and talking. But I know it's like I feel energies. I'm an empath, so I know if it's like okay, this is someone that I would like to continue on talking with, or this is someone where I'm like, oh, you the homie, like it's no negative energy in that and that's where it's at. But I feel like I haven't been approached from individuals that like how I used to, where it was like I wouldn't consider it disrespectful, but it was just like I had to I had to put that wall, and like I had to bring that masculine energies because he didn't understand like where I was coming from in a sense. So.
Yeah, and that's what you talked about on that episode too. You were saying that like when cats come at you with that certain energy, you almost had to like
be aggressive, and pull another pay. Like okay, you don't know who you fucking with type of energy. But now it's just I don't know. I'm just again I feel like you are who you attract, and I haven't been. None of that has been coming. Not saying that it will. Like I might be like I'm on my way to a rough city.
Oh yeah.
So when I'm out there, I might be approached by certain individuals, but it's just the way that I carry myself, the way that I act, the way that I talk. The way it's different now. Like I'm bringing more of my divine feminine energy in the setting of things as opposed to where I used to be was more guarded.
Got you. Yeah, and I think the place or the surroundings or the situations is very, like you said, where you headed. We can say where you're going, right?
Yeah.
So you're going to Vegas, Sin
City. Out of Vegas.
Yeah.
Super Bowl weekend.
So even that, to me, I don't know. Like I said, anything can happen. You could meet your husband as soon as you touch down or whatever. But generally speaking, in my mind, Vegas is literally, it's like a big giant club. Like, you know what I mean? So whatever energies or whatever interactions you're going to have between a man and a woman, you're going to get a lot of that. Like, hey, check it out. A lot of groups and group of girls, group of guys, and y'all picking
that
up.
Energy, they
all right, I got her,
us.
bro. You got, you can have this one. You get a lot of that shit going on to where it's, sometimes it's funny to me when I hear women are like surprised about some of the outcomes. You know what I mean? And I'm kind of just like, bro, you in the field, like you know, this is the game that we playing. Right. Like you kind of know it's Sin City for a reason. You know what I mean? So, but like I said, you're going out there with your girls to have fun.
Yeah, and all that. It's having a good time. You know I got the rental car, so like that's like where I'm at. I'm the DD. Like I don't plan on really drinking like that anymore. I don't really drink like that anymore. So it's like I don't know. Mentally, my mindset is just completely different. I can't really explain it.
Yeah. Would you say you're so like obviously it's like kind of girls' weekend, girls' trip or whatever. Like, would you say? Let me ask you this: would you say you move a certain way when you're doing that, and then when you're back home, and okay, I'm like you just were talking about, I'm opening my space, I'm getting ready, this and that.
Yeah.
Do you have like different gears that you switch in and out of? Because I feel like people do, but like we're not super conscious of it. You know what I mean?
I feel to a certain extent.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, especially when you with people that you love and your friends and your family, like, and like I'm meeting family out there too. So it's just like, I feel like that opens up a space where you can let your hair down and be 100% you and be authentic. So I feel like it's all in the same. Like, I don't feel like you have to put on a facade when you're outside of your normal space, outside of your comfort zone, in a sense.
Yeah.
Especially if you're with the people that you feel comfortable with. But if you're outside and you by yourself, and then you with people that you don't really know, and you like, you start to move differently. Like, you have to put that guard up. You have to kind of like change your verbiage in a sense in order to protect yourself and protect your energy from everyone else around you too.
Got you. Yeah. Would you say like have you ever been out there? Like, let's just talk about Vegas again. Like, have you been out there and you've seen women carrying themselves in certain ways? Do you think? Do you think those ways are like would attract that ideal man that that a lot of women say they want?
When I picture that, I picture me in my 20s.
Wild,
Wild, drunk as fuck, like
Yep.
holding probably like got one heel in one hand, like falling all over the place. Like, that's just that. But again, that I had a good. I'm not gonna take nothing from that. And I had a good. My 20s was the best. Like, I had fun, but I'm just not on that level anymore. Like, I feel like we changed. We shed a whole, after a certain amount of time, we shed a whole layer of skin. Like, we're different. So it's like, it's all about evolution. If you're still in the same place you were back then it's just like something I added up. You got to take a look in the mirror and figure out what you really want to do in life.
Exactly.
Because if you're still doing that, then that means there's a lot of things outside of that's not doing good either.
Yeah.
Like, when it comes, and I'm just saying, like, how's your lifestyle? How's your friends? Who's the people that you surround yourself with? How's your work? Do you like your job? Are you coming in every day like, fuck, I don't want to be here? Like, how's your mental space? Like, how are you? Like that.
Because a lot of it is escapism. Like, a lot of those actions, when like you're saying with the holding high heels and you wilding out and all that, you're escaping.
From reality.
You checked out, right? Yeah. The tricky part is like, because I've been kind of like dealing with that too. Because I don't really do that too much no more. I've changed a lot of my stuff, but man, I haven't really. I don't know if I just ain't been out enough, or I haven't like tried to do different things enough or whatever. But like, there's a part of me sometimes that I'm just like that little 20s. He's still in there somewhere. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie. He ready to come out. And I sit there. I be really talking to myself like, bro, like I mean, bro, because that episode that we did, that was like a couple years ago, right?
I think a year ago.
Yeah, I feel like it was been. It says like a year ago, but anyway, like over a year or something. I felt the same way. I was talking about dating with intentions and this and that and all that. I'm trying to think, what have I done since then? I have done that here and there. Like, I went on some days. I've talked to a few women this and that. But I still ain't got no. Yeah, you know what I mean. And so there's like a part of me that's like, bro, like this shit sound good, the intentions, I want this, I want that, but like I ain't really found it. So I don't know if it's like I just ain't fully embraced it, or I'm like half stepping in it or whatever. But like sometimes I'm just like, bro, like, man, fuck it, just go back to your hood rat shit, bro. Is that giving up?
Do you feel like that?
or like sometimes I be like,
I know the hood rat, Alex.
Yeah, you feel me? Like I be on my health kick and like. And all my shit, my crystals, business, this and that. And I'm just like, I mean, it's cool, but
do you feel like you're fighting? Like, do you feel like it's a battle against yourself? Like, do you feel like you're not yourself completely? Like, or
I think there is a part of me that very much is like very, not even that. I would just say it's it's just more fun, bro. This
But
shit ain't that fun sometimes, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like being cool. Like,
but
you know what I
why
mean?
can't you be? Why wouldn't you want to be with someone that loves you for all of you and all of who you are? Like even the darkest moments and the lightest moments, like authentically you.
Yeah,
Why
authentic black
why
embrace. Yeah,
why wouldn't you want that? Someone to embrace the dark side and the light side.
I think I don't know. I think there's a little bit of a hypocrite in there because it's like
Mm,
I feel like I've found people. Let me tell you like this. I've tried to engage with people that kind of like aren't kind of like that,
yeah.
and it's I don't know how to. Sometimes it gets like boring, or I don't know how to like. Yeah, it's cool and this and that, but it's like I need a little, especially when your mind is like used to like those dopamine hits and
Yeah,
shit and being
yeah.
out and doing this and doing that. But then, so it's like either I deal with somebody that's not really like that, and then I'm like, okay, bro, this is, we've been out,
Boring.
yeah, we've been out to dinner. I don't spend a couple $, like this shit kind of whack, like you know what I mean? It's almost like you start getting like an addict or something. Like,
But
bro,
how
I need something
long?
better.
Sorry, I didn't cut you off.
Nah,
But
you
how
good.
long? How long that is that? Because I feel like when it comes to you, as soon as you see something like a flaw or any of that, I feel like you kind of be like, nope, that's it, I'm out, like peace. Or
Yeah.
is it more like, okay, I'm gonna give this another chance, or I'm gonna communicate this and see how they react to this, or like, do you work on it, and or do you just be like, nope, on to the next one?
I
Like,
think I have a very quick like I always say like a self-preservation thing. Like when I identify like a trait in somebody or something,
yeah,
I know that some of it is geared towards like shit that's in the past. You feel me? Like I seen like, okay, you do this. I see how you reacted to this.
right,
I've walked that before because and I know what it ended up being. So it's like I kind of have that going on. But I think also too, I just never want to be in a position because some of the things that have came up, if I was to like further dig into them and talk to them, it would literally be me uh, trying to change that person. You know what I mean? Or I've been with people
mm,
that have toned themselves down in order to kind of like make me happy or not like ruffle my feathers or whatever.
yeah,
And that's not a good space to
yeah.
be in too. So now I kind of look at it like I try to meet people where they at. Okay, you do this and this and that, and then I calculate it. Okay, does that work for me? Is this gonna work with me? And if not, then I'm like, I don't like beat around the bush. Like it's not, let's just not let's not do that because
But what if
before,
you also ask them are there things that you don't like about me, or are there things
ooh,
that
then they're gonna tell me something. I can't take that.
you right? But I don't know. I just feel like,
That's a
oh
cool one. I never did that before.
yeah, but just maybe someone can be. Not everybody's open and honest, but if they truly like you and they want this thing to work, they can be like I really want people to just open up and be themselves and be able to communicate things like this is I don't know why, but this irritates me with you. I don't know why this happens, but this is bothering me. Like being able
Yeah,
to communicate and have those things, because I feel like it's important to understand that person and
yeah,
what ticks them off on what you do and what ticks them off on what they do. Like, and
yeah,
then we could kind of, okay, let's come to a common ground. Let's work this out. Am I
yeah,
willing to sacrifice, or am I willing to compromise these certain things in order for this relationship to work? I feel like relationships has to do with that. You have to sacrifice things. You have to compromise in some kind of way. And there's no such thing as the perfect person.
yeah, yeah,
There's no such thing as a perfect person.
yeah, yeah.
So I feel like
Yeah,
there's got to be some sort of balance. And then there's always like a deal breaker too. So it's just
yeah,
like we had this conversation and I don't see any changes in this, or I don't see you changing in this, or even this happened and you're like, oh, no, I'm good. And then you continue to do it. And it's just like, what? Like, this ain't going to
yeah,
work.
yeah, yeah. I think for me, it's just like it's just it's just the type of things they just explain of one's character. You feel me? I'm a character thing. Like a
Okay.
very much how
And
you
character
move.
is important.
Characters to me is everything. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Because uh a lot of other things. I don't know. It's just like your character kind of like splinters out and affects all these
Right.
different issues. You know what I mean? So like if your character is that of whatever, like you react to something in a certain way, then that's gonna like okay. To me, I'm just like you're gonna be a problem at
Yeah.
some point. You're gonna like we're gonna butt heads. And I think the reason I cut it off so quick is just because I do like a value system. Like okay, like right out the gate, day one, you've shown me this, and this came up. Okay, I don't necessarily. Okay, those are all. It's probably like negative things, right? You haven't given me no positive. It's like a scale. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like you
Yeah.
feel me? To where maybe I do need to give it a little more time to where some more positive things come so I can weigh it. You feel
Give
me?
it
I
some
don't know.
time.
You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. But there are things, like I said, I don't know. It just to me, I think like I said, I've been in situations where like we have drug out a lot of shit, and the people that you know, either they was holding back on how they really wanted to be or how they wanted to move because they knew I had a problem with certain things.
Yeah.
And then it just builds a lot of resentment. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like that affects a lot of relationships too, because we already come in looking and checking for red flags because we've already been hurt so many times.
Yeah,
We've
yeah.
already experienced so much in our past, and we've been in relationships where we like, oh, even if we see the slightest bit of something that we already like dealt with in the past, we want to walk away from that. We like, oh no, I'm not putting my hand on that stove again.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
That stove is hot.
It's
I
really,
can't.
it really
Yeah,
is that. It's like some
mental
primal shit.
Yeah.
Like I did this before. It hurt or it burnt, and you look just like or acting just like that stove, that hot stove. I can't do it again. What are some of them things for you?
Like as far as like what I don't like, or
what's some of the
what
what's
are the
something
flaws, like, or where the red flags is where I'm like, no, I'm
that
not
would have you like immediately turn around and not try to like talk it out or anything, or would you try to talk it out, or what is something that would make you want to talk it out? Let's start that.
It's just more in me. I'm starting to look at the things that I do that makes that
attracts it.
That makes relationships not work. Like I'm starting to look more inside for me as opposed to everything else. Like I ended a situationship last year around October, end of October, early November type situation, and I more looked at myself than anything. It was just like, what was I doing that was just too much? And I felt like I'm such a giver. Like I love to give, but I was giving way too much in the beginning. So it was just like, where can I change in that? So I more was looking at myself as opposed to the flaws in that person. But there was flaws in them too, but there was lack of communication. We couldn't communicate with each other the way that we should have been able to communicate with each other.
Yeah.
And I feel like things would have been cool or copacetic if we were able to communicate the way that we should. So when it comes to a red flag where I'm turning away or walking away, it wouldn't even get to that point because I still got my rules.
Yeah.
Like
what's some of them?
You know, I won't date anyone with kids. That's still definitely a no. What was the other one? I can't even think right now.
They really, because we all have them for a reason. You know what I mean? Because it don't coincide with like, maybe not the character. I think maybe for you it's more like a time thing and energy thing. Because that's kind of what it is for me. But like mine is like I guess we got to just say it so people can really understand. The big thing was like with the tree, with the weed smoke, right?
Yeah.
So the reason why, I mean, we talked a little bit about it, but like, so.
And I was fighting with you on this.
Yeah, and Janae, she's so disappointed.
Funny is a lot of people don't know, like, I literally smoke all the time. I smoke.
Yeah,
you know that, right?
Yeah.
But can you tell that I, like, when we connect or near?
Sometimes. Yeah. So.
Because I feel like there's people out there that don't really, like, I feel like it's not a need. Like, it's not wake and bake. Like, I get up and wake and but sometimes it feels, it's at a point where, like, I smoke before I go work out. because I get in the zone and I'm able to work out and go to the gym. And then I'm like, damn, it's 3 hours later. Like, oh, okay, okay. Like I use it as a medicinal purposes, and I feel like there's a lot of people out there that do. Sometimes people have high anxiety, and that's to mellow them down to a certain extent. But you feel like it's taking them away as a person.
It does
And
do
it's
something to them.
big controversial on smoking weed. Period.
It is.
So we could go on and on for that. But go ahead. Go ahead.
No, and just what you said, it does take a little, like for me, I feel like I have a certain degree of like kind of almost like you said, like an empath or whatever. I feel like I really need to connect.
Yeah.
Especially if I'm really like giving my time and I want to build with somebody, this and that. And that's like I said before, like I've dealt with a lot of girls that smoke weed, but you're only gonna get to a certain extent with me because I can't get through because I'm usually not gonna be on. I'm not like I'll smoke here and there or whatever, but like it's just not my thing. You feel me? Like when I really want to connect, that it puts up a barrier to me. It's almost like if somebody's like drinking and you're not drinking, you're not on the same level. You can't like get through. So like to me, I just look at it that no matter what it is, it's like a form of escapism too in itself a little bit. So even like you said, like with the anxiety or whatever,
right?
I'm more coming at it like, okay, you got anxiety. I want to know, well, what gives you anxiety? Let's work on that a little bit.
So let's find an outlet that doesn't involve marijuana. So let's find another coping mechanism that could work for you as opposed to marijuana. Because marijuana is not. It's not okay.
It just affects your personality. That's all. So if you're
what if it brings out that person's personality?
It's not bringing it out because
what if they come around you and they like a zombie and they just like, not saying anything, just quiet, just chill. But then when they smoke, they like, hey, what's up? Like their energy is lively.
I wouldn't like that because it's not. You're using like an external thing just to like. To exist,
your personality.
To exist in my person. That's like me being like, I'm dry, but like every day I'm gonna just have me a few beers in the morning. Like it's. I think in the culture it's like super acceptable just because of like mainstream media. We got people like Snoop, Wiz Khalifa, like they make people think like you could just be this way all day, every day, and you're gonna win.
Right.
I haven't found that in my experience, just based off what I perceive from people. But it's and like I said, this is just me because like two smokers together, they gonna be two peas in a pie. You feel me? The only reason it don't work is because like we're just not in the same, not in the same level as far as like what you're experiencing. Like if I was hella high right now and you wasn't, like I would be perceiving what we're doing right now completely different. Like everything, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Just everything would be different, and so you're not really getting me.
I'm thinking back on that situationship too. He smoked a lot of weed. He smoked a lot, but that didn't like every night. He'd be like, "You want to partake?" And then sometimes I'll say no, sometimes I'll say yes.
Yeah.
But it didn't ever affect me because that's just the way it was. But now that you say that,
and also did you guys communicate? Didn't you say something about communicating or whatever? You feel me? There's a disconnect, but I think culturally, we just don't think it's that because it's so acceptable. It's so mainstream. Like I know couples that, what's it called? I actually know a couple right now that's like, they're like really like not doing well because one he smoked forever, right? And he just recently stopped. And now she literally will tell you, I don't like him no more. I met him when he was high. He's always been high and that's who I married. That's whatever. Wow. Now he's not that person, and I can't.
You don't know who he is.
You don't know who he is. Just like I know people.
But how long was that relationship? So when
they've been married since high school. It's like 20-something years.
20-something years, but we do change.
Yeah.
A lot of people need to understand that too. I feel like I don't think that's the main source of it. Like I feel like we change after 10 years. Like I feel like a lot of marriages end up in shambles because they're like, you're not who I married. Of course I'm not gonna be who you married. Mm-hmm. It's 20 years later. People change. People are different. People, all these different things. I feel like part of it possibly has to do with that, but not the whole entire thing. You gotta look at the whole entire relationship to see.
Exactly. But like in this particular case, it was just taking that substance out.
I was trying to
I
say,
don't like you no more because now you got, because look,
you not high no more.
now you got an opinion.
Yeah.
Now you don't like how I do this. You don't like how I do that. When you high, you don't give a fuck. That's why we have Kevin, has jokes.
Yeah.
Smoke some fuck them lights, this and that.
Yeah.
Because that's what it brings out in people.
It just make you not care.
It make you not care. And like I said, I'm not even here. The crazy part is people gonna be like, oh, this motherfucker hella bashing weed. It ain't even that. I just feel like it's a tool just like anything else. You use it for certain things. And if I'm really rocking with a female, like really like you my girl, that's not a tool. Well, for sex and shit, yeah, it makes sex better and all that. But like I'm talking about like for the majority of the time we spend together, I don't want to be in a position where I'm trying to share and connect with you and you over here.
So
high. What's the meme you sent me on the Instagram? The one you just sent me.
Oh, damn! I can't even remember.
A girl that smoke. What is it? When a girl that smoke weed, she either horny or slow.
Oh yeah, horny and slow.
There's a reason why we have, you know what I'm saying? It's a reason why we got memes like that.
Yeah.
Because there's some truth to it. You feel me? So you got to look at it like that. So you're either horny or slow. So, and that's kind of the experience I've had with women while they were smoking. You either horny or you slow. You're just not here. I'm trying to tell you this, that. Yeah, you know what I mean? So like horny, that's cool. But now you're in the sexual box. You are a sexual thing for me now.
So you're good. So what about this? What if she just wants to partake on the horny level? And what if she wants to partake on the chill level? And she want to partake with you?
That'd be cool.
So how would you know that if you only communicate like, oh, she smokes, oh, I'm out? Is it like that, or is it more like?
I guess like when you put it like that, like, because I was even thinking when you said that, I probably can like dig into it more.
Yeah.
But I just think the way that it was communicated to me, it was more of a lifestyle thing, not like because usually when people just use it for that, they'll say, oh yeah, I smoke a little bit to go to sleep, or I smoke if I'm like go out or something. They'll say that.
Yeah.
But when the energy that I got when she said told me that it was more of a more bigger part of their life. You feel me? And again, I just didn't want to start nothing off with like, ooh, let me try to change this or how much, you know what I mean? Because then it was explained to me that like this particular person has been with people that didn't smoke weed, and she just didn't smoke around them. A big problem to me. That is, you're starting.
That's out of respect.
No, see, it's all perception, right? No.
Okay.
To me, somebody can say, okay, it's out of respect, but I say you're already out the gate.
You're not being your true self.
You can't be your true self around me. You're already starting to like, even though I know you're not able to share that part of your life with me. You know what I'm saying? You're already setting it up like there are going to be situations where I'm going to be doing things that you don't like when I'm not in your, you know what I mean? And so that leads into everything. That leads into whatever. Y'all go, you go to your friend's house, you smoke. Now you got, oh damn girl, let me sober up a little bit before I go home. You gotta dance around,
but isn't
hurting my or making me feel away.
But as I mentioned, relationships is all about compromise.
That's not compromising though. That's like having a double life to a little stick. You know what I'm saying? Like, you feel me? Like
you feel like she gonna cheat on me?
No, it's not even really me. It's almost more like I don't want to put a person in a position where they can't feel comfortable. That's not a comfortable feeling when you have to like schedule your days. Okay, I'm gonna, okay, girl, we're gonna go here. I'm gonna smoke. So then I'm gonna tell him I ain't gonna see him today. That shit is that you might as well be cheating because you're having to do all the same workings as if you were all the scheduling and dancing around our company together. It's just not some way to start a relationship. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I just not. But again, that's just me. Anybody else, somebody I smoke, I know a lot of guys are gonna be like, bro, this boy tripping, bro. Especially if she bad, they ain't tripping. And that's the problem. to me, I feel like a lot of men, I feel like more men probably feel this way, but they're not gonna say it because they don't want to. For one, they don't want to sound like
It's lack of
like you know what I
communication.
mean, or they don't want to like mess something up with this
Yeah.
woman. When I feel like this, what I'm saying, and the things that I've done regarding this have seemed so crazy because these women, because this is not the first time. This happened a few times where the women don't. They're like, "What? You know, you kind of, your friends on me off of this because they're beautiful women. They used to guys just doing whatever. You know what I mean?
Right.
But it's like, bro, this is my truth. You feel me? Like you know what I mean? Like for instance, I had a case that this happened. Beautiful girl. I was like a juice. I was like, oh man, she finna be a little one. I acted like a female. I planned it out in my head like, oh man, we gonna do this together, and I'm gonna have this and woo-doo-doo-doo. And then that's how quick, because only like a few days, and then I ended up seeing that side of her. You feel me? Like FaceTime me a couple times, all high and shit. Just
smoking.
Yeah, it's just, I'm gonna say it, bro. Like, unless you smoking that with them and you on that level, it's to me, no disrespect, nothing, but it's just not an attractive trait. You know what I mean? Like you said, you either horny or slow. Like being slow is not. There's nothing. I don't know if that's the what's that shit called?
So that's one of your
the sapiosexual in me. I can't. You ain't, you know what I'm saying? And
we
a lot
can't
of
connect that way.
And so many girls are gonna be like, oh man, I could hold a conversation when I'm high. You think you were holding it. You feel me? In your high mind, and anybody else that's high is gonna agree with you. But if you're not, we're perceiving it everything's so different. I know a lot of people that's been like, oh, I work better when I'm high, or I cut hair hella better. Like, bro, you took 3 hours on my hair, bro. Like in your world, you think you did your thing, but to everybody else, a lot of people are like saying, like talking about you, bro. They're just not gonna tell you, bro, you hella high, because you don't want to sound like a square. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We have all them kind of things. But
do you think it's deep rooted in something else? Like they're doing this because they want to? Oh, you were saying it's an outlet for a lot of people.
Yeah. I for sure think it's a coping thing.
So that's a red flag. So that's one.
Yeah,
that's one red flag.
That's one.
That's
and again,
one. How many of these red flags do you have? Because I feel like you could spill out a lot. You see, I only had one red flag, but it's not even.
I just think. Oh, one more thing to add on to that. The reason why it's a red flag is because almost kind of like your time, your time is limited, right? Mm-hmm. We adults, we all work, this and this and that. So the little time that I'm gonna have with that person, I want to be like here. You feel me? Like all the way here. And if
you want to have a conversation, deep connection,
and if we kind of like this, we ain't gonna have them connections. You feel me? So then it's kind of like then it in my mind, call it toxic or whatever. I'm gonna put you in a box, like okay, because then I'm not gonna deal with you I'm not gonna stay around long enough to see the slow part. I'm gonna just take advantage of the horny part. Now you're in my little horny high girl box, and that's all right. You gonna get high and fuck it. I'll have a couple drinks. We just gonna be fucking. That's it.
Yeah.
And then
you don't see nothing past that because of that.
I don't because we haven't connected because we can't because of these substances. You feel me? And that's the part that I've stopped doing.
Were you able to communicate all of that to the person that you mentioned that?
No, because I think I just replayed in my mind what has happened in the past, and I was just like, ooh, I didn't like that feeling. Because in the past, we ended up crossing that line where we had the sex or whatever, and everything was hella cool. And then I found that out, and then it was really fucked up. Because it's like, okay, boom.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, yeah, we fuck, everything's cool. We like, we getting, probably feeling away towards each other, this and that. And then when I seen that trait, and I seen those traits come out of her from that, I was like, ooh, never mind. Yeah, we fucking all, but never mind. I don't like, what I mean? I don't like that. So I almost, I came off like I like hit it and quit it type shit.
Yeah.
And so I guess when it happened this time, I was like, I could definitely see that happening again. You know what I'm saying? And I could see because of all the other traits she had, I was like, damn, she a vibe, I like this and this and that. I could see that happening. We crossed that line, everything's cool, Fast forward a few months later, whatever. We at a party, a family party. I see her, she hella high. I'm gonna be, I might have a drink in me or something. Now I'm like, oh, you high, and you turning me off, and now, now I'm on the next. Like, I see where that shit be going, bro. I just done it a few times where it's like, it's just something I guess I didn't want to
And
fight.
like you said, I feel like that's the hard part when it comes to people finding a real relationship because they're holding on to so much of their past to where they can't release that and have an open mind and be patient with the person that's coming in. Do you see that? Like, because it's a like you're seeing, oh, this happened to me before. I can't do this again.
Yeah.
But there's something she said. Luckily, she said it up front. Let's let everything out on the table. Let me go ahead and be an open book and let you know what's up. I feel like in the beginning we can't do that too. We cannot open up to people. We cannot give them everything. Like we feel like we have to hold on to certain things and then later on let them be known.
Yeah.
Like what if we all like? I feel like what if we can actually meet someone and be like, look, I'm about to let you know everything. Like, I'm gonna let you know what's up. Like, this is me. This is what I do. This is how I live. This is how this. He do the same thing, and then we can simply like, okay, why you do this? Like really have a deep conversation and really talk and dive into things to really see what that person. You'd be like, oh shit, because I feel like a lot of relationships end when it comes to friendships, when it comes to family members, when it comes to relationships, is because we didn't sit down and really dive deep into the conversation and really know why it's affecting them in a certain way.
Yeah, I get that. That makes sense. And see, and it's a trip because even while you're saying it, I literally would have said like, I feel like that's why relationships do end because even though those things are said and those things are identified, people just be like, you know what? Let me just meet them where they at. Let's just see where it goes, this and that.
I feel like you
You know what I
respect
mean?
people more for being vulnerable and being open. I feel like why not respect that person more for you just open up to me. You just let me know everything about your flaws. I'm about to pour out to you. I'm gonna let you know about my flaws too. And whether this is gonna move forward or not, we could either be friends or we could move this forward into a relationship.
Yeah, yeah.
I feel like that's really, really important because a lot of men portray to be this, oh, I'm this, I'm that, I'm that, I do this. And then when you connect with them, you like, where this at?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you said this too. And wait, hold up.
Yeah.
This not wait a minute. This ain't what we discussed in the beginning. I feel like and having clear communication on things too.
Yeah.
Because I feel like another reason why my situation didn't work is because we was on I was on page
looking back
164. He going on page 15. Like,
so looking back, did you have any indication like that you seen those? Did you like any of the things that came up? Looking back, do you think you could have called that?
I definitely
any level.
I should have called certain things out. I should have communicated more. And again, like I'm looking at myself, I'm not looking at that person. I'm like, look, what could I have done differently in the relationship? But I feel like I definitely could have sat there and be like, come on, let's just have a real conversation, an in-depth conversation, and just what's up. Because there was a lot. And then I'm a Scorpio, so we hold so much shit in. And this is my first time dating a Scorpio too. And
y'all. I'm familiar with
he's a Scorpio too. So like us both being Scorpios, I knew it was and I felt it. I felt so much that he was just holding in. Yeah. So much he was holding in, and he dealt with so much loss. It was so much stuff that was going on with him where I was just like, okay, let me not. I was nervous to kind of dig deep or asking questions on certain things because of the probably the traumatic experience that has happened to him. And then some of the traumatic experience he did share with me. So I was just like, I felt like I didn't feel like I was walking on eggshells, but I felt like I need to be more patient. And me being more patient, it just ended up not being any communication at all. Yeah. It was just whack.
Yeah. Oh, my bad. What it's all good. Jamie, go ahead and take that out in post. That's my imaginary little guy over there.
Thank you, Jamie girl.
Yeah. So even that, what you just said, is there any point, like, do you have any regret about like letting it drag for so long? Because I think that's my answer is really like, I'm trying to avoid that.
I've learned to have no regrets. And I've learned to, like, the shit hurt. My feelings was hurt. Yeah. Like, it takes me a while to kind of let go of things, and I'll put in the effort and I'll try, but it's only certain, and I'm not, but to a certain point to where I'm like, I don't want nobody that don't want me.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
I'm not fucking with nobody that don't want to fuck with me. And
yeah,
I felt that energy, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm gonna
yeah,
just back away.
yeah,
That's where it was. But I give a little. It's not even me getting a little effort. I'm gonna put in the effort. But if you don't see the effort I'm putting in, and you're not meeting me halfway, then there's no reason for us to even move forward.
yeah,
And I'm counting it as an L. But I don't regret it. Like I had to experience that to understand. Like I deserve so much better than that, and
yeah,
that person deserves so much better than that. So
yeah,
like
yeah,
it's okay for us to go our different ways. We just did not. We just not. We couldn't meet each other. So
yeah.
I know what I deserve, and it definitely wasn't that.
Yeah, I see a lot of women doing. It's kind of hard to watch sometimes. Like they just don't get it. They're like, why he ain't hitting me back, or why he do this and this and that. Like sometimes it's just very simple. Like he just not he ain't into
Yeah.
you. You feel me? Like you
Right.
ain't. You know what I mean? And I think it's very. I don't know. It's been very interesting to see like women don't know how to like
Let
really.
that man
Yeah,
go.
they don't know how to
They
like.
they don't know
Like
that. They don't know
what?
understand.
It's a very like what you mean? Why would you not want this?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
you
they
know what I
also,
mean?
I feel like a lot of people are holding on to what was in the beginning, like the honeymoon phase, where you like,
Mm,
oh, he fine, she fine, we doing
mm-hmm,
this, we doing
mm-hmm.
that, we linking up, we this. Oh, he calling me. Oh, he texting me. Okay, like it's lit.
Yeah, yeah.
And then it just literally slows down where it's just like, oh, I ain't getting no text all day. Like this
Mm-hmm.
person ain't doing this person ain't doing that. Like it's a disconnect. And then when you call them out on it, it's like, and then we starting to fight. We're fighting and we fussing and fighting. And we arguing over something that we want from the beginning, but that shit is changed already.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
shit, you can't go back to that.
yeah,
You can't go back to that.
yeah.
Like that's not gonna work.
I always say that like I've even said this to people like because what you just said, like all the little texting back, the honeymoon stage, the shit in the beginning,
Yeah.
that is what the attraction is. To me, when I look at shit, when I look at relationships or people interacting with each other,
Yeah.
I literally say like that woman or that man, I don't want to say in love, but like they are in love with that. Not
Right.
that person, not that person's opinions, views on anything or showing up this way, that. They're in love with, oh God, let me see what he texts, or that waking up, seeing that thing, like you said, sometimes on the apps, it's very much a hit. That
Yeah.
is the thing.
To
Because
feel good
yeah,
and that ego
yeah,
drive, and to
yeah.
make yourself feel. And that was one thing I had to like let go of. I was like, this is toxic.
Yeah,
This shit is really toxic. I had to
yeah,
delete all the dating apps because I was like, this is real life toxic. Like
yeah.
I'm really finding a way to like make myself feel good when I need to
Mm-hmm.
be making my own self feel good. Like
Yeah,
I should be able to be happy on my own, like be
yeah,
content with myself and be able to do these things without that. And once you're happy, I feel like once you can create that happiness for yourself, then all that other stuff will easily flow to
yeah,
you.
yeah.
And all that like-minded everything is just it will just come. And
Mm-hmm.
that's literally where I'm living my life right now. Like
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm loving on me.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
yep.
loving on me, and I was doing that even in the last one. I'm pretty sure I mentioned that too. Like
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
still finding ways to love on myself, but um, when it comes to like trying to figure out or trying to dissect or do some research or do like doing all this stuff or like trying to figure out what that person's
Yeah, yeah.
no, bro.
It shouldn't. I'll
It
be honest.
shouldn't
It
be
shouldn't be
like
that
that.
hard. It
It
shouldn't.
shouldn't.
You
If somebody want to fuck with you, they gonna fuck with you
yeah,
hard the long way,
yeah,
and
yeah.
that's when it comes to man too. If a man like I've seen it. I have my brothers. I have brothers. I have even when it comes to my play brothers. When it comes to my male friends, I see it. I
Yeah,
know when he like fucking with her, and I'll be
yeah,
like,
yeah,
I love that. Like
yeah,
that's the one. And then there's times where he'd be like, I ain't, like fuck that bitch, it's on my phone. So
yeah.
I understand, like, if a man really wants to be there, he would be there.
Let's talk about this because this is a very real thing. Is when sometimes when the person is, and I guess this is just like a toxic thing. I mean, we watched a little podcast. She kind of touched on it. Like when a person is so used to a certain type of behavior, whether it's toxic and all that, and they get
Yeah.
that guy that's really into them, they like, ooh, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I tell you, so I just had this situation happen not too long ago where I was talking to this woman, hella cool, beautiful woman, everything is cool, and she texted me. This is when I knew I was that person, that toxic person, because when she said, oh, you just caught me right now, like I'm just like really happy in life right now, this and that. When I tell you that shit hit my stomach, you feel me? Like I can't explain it. It just I was just like it was like a very like just a repellent. Like, ooh, you happy? Like I don't know how to I don't deal with that. I don't know how to and that's when I was like, that's why I've kind of fell back on a lot of this, even like trying to entertain a lot of women right now, because I gotta figure that out.
Yeah.
That was real. I'm not even trying to be funny, bro. I heard that happy word and I was like, ooh.
So she said, I'm in a happy place right now.
Yeah, and I was like, ooh, I cannot be in that place. And that's literally what I felt, because it was like I guess based off.
Do you feel like it was psychotic, or like do you feel like
I feel like it was based off of my past experiences with women. I feel like I don't leave them in the best of place. You know what I'm saying? To where I was like, if you're happy, because I'm not like a fucked up person. I'm like, I don't want to. You don't want to fuck that up. I don't want to fuck your shit up. Stay away, because that happiness, and then.
Do you feel like that's something you got to look into yourself?
Hell yeah, for sure. That's why I was like, I even told her, I wrote her a big ass letter, probably look bipolarism. Yeah. I invited this girl on a date. We literally were supposed to go out to eat and share a night and all this shit. And like, I got all in my head because I started thinking about when she said that. And then I literally wrote her a letter talking about,
letter like paper and pen letter?
No, a text. No, yeah, I ain't go crazy like that. I ain't do all that. But I texted her basically saying like what I just said, like, you're happy, this and that. Like, I'm not in a place right now to, like, it was weird. Like, I didn't even know how to handle that shit. And that's a real thing, because I even had another girl, it happened again. This was like a few years ago. Beautiful girl. She had flew out here and everything. And she just wasn't, she didn't drink. She wasn't on her little turned up shit. She was very just more sweet. And I didn't know what to do with it. Janae, I didn't know what to do.
Isn't that what you want?
That's what I be saying. But then it's like you say you want something and then you get it.
So
and
she didn't smoke, she didn't drink.
Janae, I'm not playing, bro. People gonna be cracking up over it. She stayed with me for like 3 days, man. Shout out Texas. She stayed with me. I'm literally, because she just didn't have that like she wasn't aggressive. She wasn't even that type. Like, we was hella cool. Like, we're like cooking and shit. It was so weird to me. I'm literally every night, I'm talking about 3 nights, laying in the bed at night. I couldn't even turn it on, bro. Like, I couldn't even cross that barrier with her. It was so weird.
Really?
I was like mind fucking myself every night, looking at the ceiling like.
So it was just awkward.
What is wrong with me, bro? Like you got this sweet girl. She was a little more, like I said, she wasn't hella aggressive, but like
conservative.
You feel me? But definitely like probably wanted me to do whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it just, I'm so used to like being kind of like more like girls that like, are kind of a little spicy and kind of like show it more. And then I kind of like almost like dominate them a little bit. Like, it's calm down. Like, rough with them.
She's a Southern girl.
When I tell you, I didn't know how to, it was like another language. Like, it was like like an alien to me, bro. And I knew I was fucked up. That's when
So you had to look at yourself in that sense and figure it out.
Yeah. And I still ain't figured it out, because that's happened a couple times.
Like, what do you really want?
Yeah.
If this is hard and this is hard, like, you want somebody to meet you in the middle in a sense, or like
that's probably got to be the thing. Probably. I swear that shit was crazy. Like, I didn't even know. It's like, and the crazy part, we had sex before.
Yeah.
Before that, you feel me?
It just was different.
It was just different. The sex was different. Everything. I was just like, this is crazy. I don't know. Are we like making love right now? I don't know what's going on right now. I'm used to that. Like, and this is why I said, like, when I was like, I be having moments where I'm like, bro, I'm gonna just go back to like hood rat shit. Like my little one night, like I ain't never seen you before, met you in the bar, like it's cracking outside in the car. That kind of shit, because
you feel like you can't have both?
I can, but you
But you feel like it's like
it takes
it's
time to
fighting
get it.
demons.
You have to like, you have to get over like even the little flags and shit. Like I have
Yeah.
little flags that pop up that don't even allow me to even get somebody like that
Right.
because you done did something that I don't know. It's interesting. It's weird sometimes,
Yeah.
and that's why I get discouraged with it because I'm like, bro, this shit is too hard. I know what I could do. I know where I could excel, or I get my affirmations from.
Yeah.
In this light, I haven't been able to win in the other way
So with
my
the
whole life.
affirmations,
I'm
your
like,
whole life,
I'm
okay.
handicapped. I am
So with
handicapped with that
the
shit.
affirmations and everything, do you believe? Do you truly believe that there's someone out there for you that will be able to, like your first love? Like, I mean, have you ever had a first love? Have you ever been in love where you?
Nah, handicapped since as long as I can remember, and that's the part of me that's like, bro, this maybe this
So it
ain't for you. This ain't for
so for
you.
you not being able to experience that at you're 37,
7, yeah.
at 37, it's hard to believe that that's out there if you've never experienced it before, right?
I've never experienced it, nor have I ever seen it in nobody else. That's wild. I'm telling you, this is not just like me. Oh, well,
Really?
that's
So
some
you
deep
never
shit.
seen it out of everyone you know, you never seen like, oh, that's true love. Like that's
Not shit.
no.
Still looking. I'm
Damn.
literally, ever since I was young, I've
So
always,
even growing up and seeing, you never witnessed like love in the home or
I've
any,
always
or not even
seen,
home, but outside of the home, seeing other people in relationships. You never been like, yeah, that's love. Like that's
nope.
true love.
I literally
That's
am like,
beautiful.
I'm
Like
literally a sniffing dog for like deceit and like backdoorness. And that's what,
yeah,
even since being a young kid, like I've always, oh, okay, and then I'll get little hints. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Whether it was uh, just little shit like because I didn't have no dad, so my mom would have me like around like men just to kind of have
yeah.
that influence, and even in them I would see it. You know what I mean?
You
Like,
see
oh,
the
we
dog in
go
them.
we'd go be playing basketball or something, and he's married as fuck, and the girl walk by and him get at it, and even as a young boy, like, oh shit, he's married, but he's still doing his thing. So I guess that's what we do. Like, I'm supposed to look
Yeah,
up to
growing
bro.
up to that.
Yeah, so you get kind of conditioned with it, and then also being in rooms with women, whatever it is, you know what I mean? It could
Yeah.
even be to this day. Like, I'll have my headphones on. They don't think I can't hear shit. But that shit, my song stopped, and I'm hearing like my clients talk about how they backdooring this person, that person. Like, it just reiterates that, like,
So it's
yeah,
all around you.
all around me, and
All your life.
all my life, and it's very
It's not
sad.
funny
It's
though
not
either.
funny because it's fucked
It's
up
not.
because it conditions you and it makes you a person that, like, when it comes to relationships, I almost, or even a woman, I almost like, you start off like not being shit,
Yeah.
and you almost got to prove to me that you are somebody that could whatever be loyal or carry yourself
Yeah.
in a certain way, and that's why I like, even on Instagram, a lot of the music, I know we've kind of talked about that a little bit, like the music that I hear today, it's
Influence.
it kind of irritates me because it's like, man, it almost is like more fueling,
Yeah.
my impressions of women. You feel me? To where it's like, and I'm like screaming, like, that's why I tell like a lot of girls and women I know, like, that shit ain't cool because that shit is why I do, like, I think the way I think. All
Because
that
of all
shit
that.
is
So I
just,
feel like there is you can navigate through that because there's the influence. Okay, the social media influence and the music and everything. It's a certain genre. Like I feel like you can navigate and listen to a different genre. You
yeah,
can
yeah,
navigate and listen to and change your mindset on things by the things that you see as well. Like
yeah,
I know all of like I've been cleansing the
yeah,
hell out of my social media,
yeah,
and I literally just like I'll put it on. I'll be like, why is this on my why is this here
yeah,
right now? So
yeah,
I get rid of it and be
yeah,
like, this is not what I want to see.
yeah.
And then certain music, this is not the kind of music that I want to hear. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm starting to change and declutter the things that are kind of like getting my mindset like this is how all these are how all
Yeah,
these dudes is
yeah,
like this
yeah.
is
Because
like
it'll
it
program you for
yeah.
sure.
So letting go of that and releasing all of that, but I mean I grew up around, I've seen relationships, I've I've seen.
What have you seen more of? Because you
Of
ain't finna look up here like
course.
I just been seeing all the crazy shit.
Nah,
Yeah,
I've seen crazy shit too. I mean,
yeah.
we like I grew
So
up.
who's the ideal couple that you would aspire to be? It's hard.
And it's crazy because I was looking into that too. Like, who would I? And I wrote this down in my journal. Who I like that I thought was really dope. Oh, Janae Nikole and Big Sean. I
But
like their situation because they had to walk away from each other, kind of find themselves, and
yeah,
then when they were ready, they were able to go back and connect and be in tune with one another. And they both are spiritual, and they both like tap into different things. So I always thought that that was pretty dope.
yeah,
As far as inspired to be, I don't aspire to be in anyone's type of visual relationship, but
yeah.
I do believe in true love because I've experienced it at a young age, and
Mm,
I experienced in being loved. And that type of love, I was like, that's why I believe in it so much because I was able to experience that. And that type
mm.
of experience that I had was like we were like so connected to where we were finishing each other's sentences,
Yeah, that's
or
lit.
like we'll be somewhere and he'd be like, you want to eat? And I'll be like, yeah. And he was like, you want to go to La Chevelle's? And I'll be like, you already know. Like,
Mm.
let's go. Like
That synchronicity goes, yeah.
like we were so in tune with one another. Like it was insane. And then not only that, like when we were away from each other, and this was the crazy part too. We were away from each other. It was times where I would get emotional. Like I'll be like, something happened between like a relationship with my relationship with my mom or my dad, or something between fighting with my sister, and I'll get hella emotional and crying, and I look down at my phone, and I'll answer it, and he'll just say, "What's wrong?" Like he
Mm,
felt me already and be like, "What's
mm,
wrong?" So I knew, like from that, I was like, I
mm.
believe that there's a such thing as true love. There's such thing as connection, and there's such thing as is that. Like that was my soul, my twin soul or soul twin or soul
Soul
tie,
flame or
soul
whatever.
flame, twin flame. That was my
Twin
twin
flame,
flame.
twin flame. So what happened with that?
And a lot of people don't realize that twin flames are not meant to last. Like if you
Yeah.
look into it, twin flames is supposed to happen so you can understand and be able to move forward, and also believe that that can happen again. Because people, that happens. So a lot of people in a relationship and then they end up in a relationship where they, excel and be together with that person and have kids and stuff like that. Like I've seen
yeah.
that a lot too,
Mm-hmm.
in people in certain relationships. It didn't work. It was I was young.
Yeah.
I was young. I feel like if I was older and more mature in a sense,
Mm-hmm.
we
Sometimes a
would be able to
season.
talk it out, and I was hearing everyone else around me.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was individuals that I wouldn't say jealousy, but they hated themselves so much that they didn't like to see people
Yeah.
together.
Even throwing their experiences on you and all of that. Yeah.
And it was like they had to do research and be like, this happened and this happened, and then it was people all in my ear, and
Yeah.
I didn't, instead of going to approach him and having a conversation with him, and that, I think things would have been, I don't, everything happens for a reason though. That's where my is,
Mm.
like everything happens for a reason, and a lot of times when things happen, we don't want them to happen. We don't want these stuff affect us in a way that, but it gives it a shift, and we shift and we change and we develop and we evolve because of that situation. So
Mm.
that's where my mindset is. But
Yeah.
all that was supposed to happen for me to move on and understand, and also be able to know that there is a such thing as a divine connection with someone, and someone to be truly in love with. So I
Mm.
feel like my man is out there, and I
Yeah.
believe in that
And you're getting
wholeheartedly.
ready for them.
Oh yeah,
You're
and I'm
creating a
preparing myself
space.
for him for sure.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna tell you this because I don't want to my shit could sound real like gloomy. You feel me? Like, oh, it's not even positive. Like it ain't that. It's just
So you do believe there's a woman out there for you.
I do. Yeah, I do.
Good,
And I
yeah.
also think that there's like everything, even the experiences that I have had with women, whether they were like positive or negative or whatever, I've taken stuff from that. You feel me? And I've like kind of like sculpting myself and sculpting my perceptions and my communication and all that. And that's why like when I'm like even with the weed thing, like I'm cutting stuff out so quick. To me, it could look like it's cutting out quick, but to me, that is me communicating kind of like what I want and what I want out of a person, and kind of like my little boundaries or whatever. But yeah, I think it's definitely possible, but I do think it's harder to find. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's almost like it's like, to me, I look at it like this. It's almost like my business. Like I do tattoos. If I did all whatever tattoos, anybody that brought or whatever, I would have so much business. I'd be tattooing all these different people.
Right.
But then once you do, okay, I only do black and gray. Now I cut this down. I don't do letter. Now my market is this.
Categories.
Yeah. So now my choices are very smaller.
Right.
So same thing but when I do get that appointment, I enjoy it. It's because it's what I want to do. It feeds me or whatever. It's the same thing with relationships. I take 100 women. All right, I don't really want like a super avid weed smoker. All right, so now it's down to 60 women. I don't, what's it called? Like, I'm like particular on like your views, or like maybe or fucking whatever. Let's just say something small like the litter bug. If you just really just are like,
know what I'm leaving
saying?
Trash in the movie theater. Don't leave trash in the movie theater.
Brother,
pick that shit up.
You know what I'm saying?
Throw it in the trash bin when you walk out. It's good. It's good.
Like that's a trait. Like if you're super entitled and kind of like a brat or whatever, or you don't see nothing that like you're not aware of like your faults. Now I'm down to 30. You feel me?
For me is tip. If you do not tip, and maybe even I'm such a like, that person could have had a bad day. That could all these things could have happened. Although they gave us okay service, still tip your waiter. So I feel like if you do not tip, I see that not just relationships, for friends too. And I call you out on it, like like especially when it comes to waiters, where because they don't get paid as much, and I'm just like I look at that and I feel like we gonna get it back. So it's just like in I like to put stuff like I don't know. It's just one thing where that really is my pet peeve. If I see a man that do not tip well, then I'm just like,
that's interesting, because I think we even had a whole episode on tipping one time, and when we did the Jealous Night, because my thing with the tipping is it's just how that person, like you said, that maybe they didn't do well, they had a bad day. To me, just being like a person that like gives a service, an entrepreneur working for myself or whatever, I know how that is, but I also know how you are still here to do this job.
So what if they had two jobs, and on their first job they was picking up trash and shit in the movie theater? And they pissed about it, and then they got to go to their next job and they mad. And they not feeling too good because they had to pick up hell and stuff out of the movie theater when someone left. So now I got to come here and I got to serve people.
To me, honestly, if I'm being honest, like anything that happened before them coming, like that's not even in the equation, bro. Like I'm really particular on this because I feel like a lot of people show they face at work when it's like, bro, you here, you have to have that what is it, compartmentalized or whatever. Like, hey, I'm now whatever happened before, now I'm in here. Let me put this uniform on. I'm fulfilling this service, this job. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't. It's
like
too much
for me, I
like,
give good tip, I give okay tip, and I give a bad tip. And my bad tip is like $3, $2.
You tipping at Starbucks?
Starbucks, no, that's a fast service. So it's like,
but
if I'm in Starbucks, yeah.
You do?
I do, because they always have that box. So I pull out whatever change or cash that I have.
Yeah.
And I put it in there. And I feel like that's a really, really fast service. So that's not me sitting down, having a meal. Like, as they coming back for water. Or they coming.
Yeah.
But if it's like a situation where I'm like, fuck, like where the waiter at? Like,
yeah.
Like all that, you still get $3 from me.
Yeah. See,
you get $2-3.
I said in that last episode, you gotta give me something that's not on this menu to get a tip. You know what I mean? Like the extra, like, yeah.
But if you have it, why not give it?
Or
whatever tip that you were gonna give that waiter, do you hold on to that tip and give it to somebody else?
Yeah. I'll just tip wherever I, feel that tipping is
do you
is
really?
granted. I will. Okay. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, that's just me. Like, because people will say like, it's not. I just need people to go above and beyond. Like if you talk well, you check. Yeah, I don't ask like you ain't gotta like fucking do a dance for me or nothing. But like if you just.
But what if they don't talk well? What if they just like this is how I talk?
You in the wrong fucking profession.
But what if it's the best job they had?
It's. I feel like there's certain characteristics, just like with any job.
Yeah.
If you're a hostess, you need to have like proper like etiquette. Like you need to have like a little pizzazz. So you gotta be a welcoming energy. If you're not that is not the job for you. That's kind of how I like look at it. You know what I mean? And that's it's just that's is what it is. Like that's like if you have a job that you fucking.
Well, that's a red flag for me.
Yeah, yeah. And see, but the thing is, on the flip side, is like I tip like a motherfucker when it's granted to me. You know what I mean? But like people that just get tips just to get a tip.
I say tip regardless. It was times where we did have like okay service or not too good of a service, and he didn't tip, and I went in my purse and took out a couple of dollars and put it down, and I felt like I had to sneak it in order for like before we walked out. Before we walked out, I had to I don't want to feel like that, like I'm hiding.
Oh, like you're hiding? Like you can't tip around him? Like you got to tip when you ain't with him? Like you got to smoke when you ain't with him? I'm telling you, it's not a good feeling, bro.
But wait.
And when that happened, did you just tip and you just swept it under the rug, or did you have a conversation about that when y'all went in the car?
And this is not the person. This is not the situation.
Yeah.
But we did not have a conversation about it. So that was a conversation that needed to be had because communication is key. Yeah. But this is a couple of years back. Yeah. So-called dating.
Because that's to me. Because did the person do like a good job and all of that type of stuff?
Yeah, they did.
Because I would do the same. Like I would literally that would go up for my mind too. Like why this person or
like if they did a good job,
gonna tip.
Tip.
Yeah.
Like.
Because it's a character thing.
Yeah.
It's a character
why
thing.
Why you not tipping? You want to keep all your money, but you got money. I know you got money. So why aren't you tipping?
Yeah. It's just like.
And now I gotta feel like I need to because a man want to be a man where he pay all this stuff, and it's just like now I gotta sneak money behind you, so I can make sure this person gets a tip.
Yeah. And to me, we hella talking about tipping, but it's I'm really observing how that person is because there's a difference between somebody just being rude. I could tell that's just their personality. They are just, and then in my mind, like, this just ain't. I could hella tell because then you could tell when somebody's extra stressed out, when it's hella busy. Yeah. I done did it a few times. Like, girl, here go 100. I done did it. Be like, I know you hold it down. It's hella busy. Here goes that. But if it ain't busy and you over there on your phone, or you talking to your coworker, you're not getting extra.
You rude.
Yeah, but it's just because
we can't find you because you outside taking a smoke break.
That's the shit I'm talking about. But yeah. So what else? I'm trying to think.
What else
I gotta bring it back.
Dig deep in.
I feel like I dug myself a hole.
We were talking about red flags. I mean. Now I got two. Well, that I can remember.
That's a good one. Yeah. But I think I'm trying to
I know you were talking about cleanliness. We was talking about your flags. So one was being clean, like picking up after yourself after a movie theater and stuff like that.
Yeah.
How you carry yourself. Hygiene's important.
Hygiene's a big
You can't
one.
be funky. You gotta be nice. You gotta don't come to me without no. Damn, see, I don't want to be picky, but I feel like you put in effort if you come to me with a fresh haircut. Yeah. But if you're not really taking care of yourself, I came here to take care of myself. Like I took care of myself before I got here. Yeah. And then you come here with gray sweatpants and a t-shirt and what are you doing?
He might actually be strategizing that. Motherfuckers be wearing gray. That's motherfuckers have hella
you coming in here with basketball shorts.
Yeah, I'm wearing my gray sweats because I'm gonna tell her what time it is. You know what I mean?
No.
But yeah. I mean, effort is very effort. Someone just texted me that effort is super attractive, super sexy. It's effort. And so I think that would, to some like that, I would just tell any woman, if the man is not showing effort, you are not on his priority list. You feel me?
He got other things to do.
You're a convenience, busy. You know what I mean? And at best, you feel me, to where a lot of girls, I think they take a lot of treatment that they probably should just be like, just
Let it
come to
go.
the fact that like he just ain't into you like
But I
that
feel
and
like
keep
they
it
holding
pushing.
on to when he wasn't to her.
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
holding on to, oh, I'm getting all these text messages, I'm
yeah.
getting all these calls, I'm getting like they're reaching out to you. Like I was, and then I feel like that, like it's so many memes about that too. It's be like I was minding my own damn business, and then
Uh-huh.
you come here try to fuck shit up. Like
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
come here try to fuck shit up while I'm literally on this path.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
if you bout it, you bout it. If not,
yeah,
if not. But then he's getting to know that person. He's getting to know you in a
yeah.
sense, and this is something that he don't like. So instead of communicating,
Mm-hmm.
having a conversation like this is this and this, and it may be a conversation that needs to be had to where she could explain herself, and then be like, oh, okay, okay, I
Yeah,
get it.
yeah,
Okay, let's go, let's dial it back a little bit. Let's do A, B, and C. But instead he'd be like, oh, fuck this.
yeah,
Let me not call her. Let me just start slowly backing away from the situation as opposed to let's have a conversation and communicate.
yeah. Can I tell you something? Honestly, because I've tried this multiple times. That conversation you talking about is
Mm-hmm.
not well received by women. It sounds good to
By
be.
women or by no, I won't even because I was gonna say by girls. I feel like someone who is sure of themselves, understand themselves, love themselves, they can take constructive criticism because they understand. Oh, let me take this in, let me understand it, and then move on.
Yeah.
And I
Well,
will
where you
utilize
find
that and
them
use
girls
that.
at? Where you find them? I don't know.
Girls who take who's in therapy.
I can't speak to that because I ain't really seen them, man. But
Girls who
nah,
are in therapy,
no,
because
I'm
I'm telling you, I had to look in the mirror for
yeah,
sure. I had to look in the mirror
yeah.
for a lot of things.
All seriousness though, that is true because a woman that is secure and has done work and that's what I'm saying when that's one of my pet
And they
peeves.
out here.
Yeah, I'm just trying to like find them. You feel me? Because the
They
time,
might not be in the Bay Area. They may be in the Bay Area. They may be. It's there.
man, I'm just saying, if you got baby hairs and are in therapy,
Oh my
come
god.
holler at me. I'm just that's still in me.
It's the baby hairs for me.
It's still in there
It's the
somewhere.
baby
I'll try
hairs.
to shake it, but like, yeah, I just be scrolling. If I see berries, they definitely get a few seconds to look,
And
and
that's
then
the thing too. And I saw a meme. I don't even think it was a meme, but I saw something about that too, where it was just like the problem is, oh, the video you sent me. The problem is that we first look at it at people's appearance
yeah,
as
yeah,
opposed to their personality.
yeah, yeah.
So this could be a good looking person. This person could be tall, athletic, like da 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 da, like have all these things, but it's like can't even like hold a conversation or
Yeah,
can't communicate or can't, there's things that preventing to being their true selves, and it's just
yeah,
it's
and that's the
it's
problem with social media.
lack of character, lack of personality, lack of person. Like who are you? Like
Yeah,
they don't even know themselves.
yeah,
But they make sure they look good on
yep,
the social media. They make sure they in the gym with their shirt off, with the
yep,
the camera and the tripod
uh
pod
huh,
hooked up, and
yeah.
they're portraying this lifestyle. Then when they go home, they're not happy with themselves.
Nah, that's real talk, and that's almost even some of the like because I started doing this for a few different reasons, and that's one of them is to kind of like I guess on the low like show my personality. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
even like I could post this and this and that, and you won't even know really me. You feel me?
Right.
Just like on Instagram, that's why Instagram and all that, and like encountering women over social media and all that is
Yeah.
so tricky because you can't help but just be attracted to them physically, right?
Yeah.
So say I see a woman on the Instagram and she's attractive or whatnot, then I look at her feed. Even her feed is not like a reflection of who she really is. It's a
Yeah.
reflection of, oh, this girl posts this and she got that like, or this person posts this, or these or
Oh
whatever
yeah, you look at likes, you look at
man, you
how
all
they're
mirror.
dressed, you look at where they at. Oh, they in a restaurant.
Yeah, yeah,
That's a nice watch. Like
yeah.
it's all that outer appearance shit.
It
That's just
is.
like
And so for me, when I see that shit, oh, you want to talk about some flags? Oh, my flags just be because yeah, you're a beautiful woman, and for one, once I start seeing, I ain't never gonna have no dates after this. Once I start straight up, once I start seeing pictures of like, fucking plates and nails with the purse logos and all that, like all that. That's a majority of what a lot of people are doing. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
like
So for one,
brands.
yeah, trips. I go to this trip here.
Yeah.
It to me, it shows just a couple things. It shows one that you follow everything else that everybody's
Sorry, I'm
doing.
laughing because it's like they showing all that, and then you walk into their house and there's a mattress in the corner of the
But
floor.
it's like you know what I mean?
It's nothing in the fridge,
It's
and
nothing.
it's like it's not.
Yeah,
The dots are not connected.
they're not
But
connected.
go
They're
ahead.
not connecting, and it's showing me where your values and where your character is at.
Yeah.
Your character is that of a woman who wants to look away. You want to look like you got this, like got that. You're showing this is the lifestyle that I want and that I want to live, this and that, right? Which is fine, you know what I'm saying?
It's in a form of manifestation.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, it's fine. Yeah, exactly. That's fine. I mean, I'm not down talking it or whatever, but at the same time, do I want to connect to a person and do our values share? Because now when I'm with you, I'm already out the gate. You're showing me the lifestyle you want or whatever, and it's like it's just showing me like where your motives is at.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And if your motives is in like super high materialistic stuff or like, very much flexing or showing that you could do this or that you got that, it's coming from a lot of insecurities, you feel me, and all of that.
And it's not it's okay to like nice things. I've learned that. Like it's okay to like and love.
There's a way how they do it,
but it's
though.
a way that you do it.
It's a way.
It's not like you don't have to flaunt it and throw it out there and like portray yourself to.
Yeah.
Like you could be taking a picture of something from a store and putting your nails next to it and then putting it back on the shelf.
Yeah.
Like there's a way to do it. Like
you can post,
or you could do that with your nails next to it and hold it onto your archives or print it out and put it on your vision board. Like there's a way to do it.
And that's kind of what I'm saying is like there's a way. I could see a post of a girl in front of a car. I never thought I'd be able to get this car. My business finally taking off, this and that, all the struggles I've been through, it all paid off, yada, yada. That's one post. There's another post of the steering wheel with Lil Mama fanning out some money saying, boss bitch, this and this and that. Ooh, it's how you do
how
it.
you perceive
You know what I'm saying? And it's even perception. It's just how you put it out there. It says a lot about what's going on in here. You feel me? And that's kind of what I'm trying to say is like, I see a lot of Instagram girls that doing all this stuff, and I don't know if it's like I'm super hypersensitive to that shit. I don't think I think cats oh boy, she thick as fuck, boy, I'm trying to get it. They don't see all that shit, and that's what, and I see it, and so those guys that entertain or like try to get at them bras, and then they get the problems that come with that type of woman. I'm sitting here like, bro, you didn't see that, bro. I could have told that. You know what I mean?
How I feel too. Okay, so with that, when it comes to like attractive people, like I feel like we always like, okay, this is a good looking person. Would you downgrade in order to get a better personality? Would you downgrade the outer appearance of someone to get a greater personality, intelligence, and all this stuff? Like,
for sure.
How much would you downgrade?
I mean, like we'd have to like line up 10 women up here.
I don't think you.
You feel me? That'll be a show.
But I don't think we see that. There might be someone that's like that looks and they may be they may feel not like they may lack confidence because they like, oh, this person hella attractive, but although I got all these ducks in a row, it's just this one, I feel like an ugly duckling, so I'm not gonna be able to approach this person or do these and feel this way. Like, but then I feel like that's a red flag. You don't have confidence.
I was just about to say that. I was just about to say that because it's hard to get that person. There are out there though. Don't get me wrong, they're out there. But like a lot of times when a person is she has a good personality and everything, but she might not be like whatever. Maybe her body ain't what you would think a girl would be or whatever. they also carry that sometimes. You know what I mean? Even though their personality is there, like you said, their confidence is will not all the way be there, and a lack of confidence is kind of deterrent. You know what I mean? For men and women. You know what I mean? If
Yeah.
a man ain't confident, you ain't getting no women, bro, unless you just like really tricking or something. And then same thing with a woman. If a woman, I always say that you could be 400 fucking pounds, and if you is woo woo, I'll be like, man, what's happening? I ain't tripping. Like straight up, like
Yeah.
I tell, I ask all my friends, I ain't never wanted to be like, oh nah, bro, nah. If she got it and she's secure with it and all that, and it puts out that energy like that, I would take that woman over some girl that's hella pretty, hella beautiful, but it's just dry,
lack the
wants to, needs this, needs that, and that.
intelligence and
Yeah, you know what I'm
personality
saying?
and character.
Yeah, yeah. So that's like I said, I think the character shit is really big for me.
Yeah.
And I think like physically, I always say this, physically I'll get attracted very quick. Yeah, I'm like, damn, what she's a very beautiful girl, this and that. But you can say the slightest thing, that character peek through, that little post of this and that, or little saying or some, or even whatever, like lyrics to a song or something.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh, I see where your vibe, your energy, your motives is at. And that's where I go off like, okay, those type of motives, that's gonna be a problem for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like whatever it is, you know what I mean? There's so many different things. And that's why I kind of see, it seems like I'm very short with women. Like, oh no, you do this, I'm done. But it's because it's indicative of like how they move or how they operate or how they're gonna react to shit. You know what I mean?
Oh, shit.
It's good. It's crazy. But like I said, there is that woman out there. It's just gonna be, and that's why I even do all these little things so I could talk and. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I ain't gonna lie, because a lot of women go hear this shit and be like, man, fuck that motherfucker. And that's
and
good.
then there's gonna be a lot of women
I want that. You feel me?
But there's also gonna be a lot of women out there that's gonna be like, okay, I understand and I'm accepted to that.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah. And there's some women in there with some egos like, oh, he said this, bet you I'll change his mind. I bet I'll smoke weed with him. He gonna love it. They take it as a challenge. And you know what I mean? And I love, and the old me, and I ain't gonna say the old me, there's a part of me that those type of women, I love it because now it's a competition. You thinking this, now I'm gonna dominate you mentally, physically, and everything.
The demon gonna come
out.
The
demon come out because you're coming with this energy. Now, all right, I'm gonna show you, because I like, what is it, how you say, like, that's why I asked you in the beginning about the gears. You know what I mean? You have different gears because I have different gears like that. I could say, oh, I want a woman that's do. You put me in a certain setting, put the gear. Now I'm a demon. I can.
But I feel like we've learned to adapt in our environment as well.
Yeah,
so if we're in a
that's
particular environment, I hate the word. I mean, I get it on the whole code switch shit, but there's a way to be in a certain environment. Like you're not gonna act a fool or act out when you in an elegant surrounding. Like when you're in a place where everybody, got their head on straight. So it's like, okay, I'd rather come with, okay, let's talk about business. Let's do this. Let's do that. Like there's ways to communicate in certain environments that you're in. It's adapting to your environment and adapting to your surroundings. So.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
One thing, one of my friends told me, and she hit the nail on the head. She was like, you know what you do is, she was talking about like setting the stage. You know what I mean? So it's like, she was like, sometimes, because she was even saying like, I've seen you do it. She was like, you'll see a woman, maybe physically and on their appearance, they may look like one of them, like a woman that like's coming with that energy or whatever.
Yeah.
And especially if you're drinking or something, I'm like, oh shit, she like, so let me go into my dominate, you know what I mean? That kind of mode. And the person may like almost like will like you to where she thinks she needs to act that way to like get your attention and all that. And then she was like,
she not being her true self.
She's not being her true self. She's me and my energy. And then my best was like, and then you act on it. Y'all do your thing. Yeah. And then you throw it back in their face for acting hella quick or moving like having sex fast. But it's some shit that I insinuated, and she just took the bait. But she said that the girl only took the bait because she seen all these other characteristics and she liked you, and she thinks that's what she had to do. And that hit me in my heart because I was like, man, that's kind of true. That's like, you know, and I don't want to be doing that. You know what I'm saying? So that's
But
kind
I
of,
mean, it takes two too for her
yeah,
to change up and not be her true self
yeah,
in
yeah,
order and for the things that you're saying to
yeah.
make her. I don't know.
It's tough. That
It is
happened.
hard.
That happened a while back. Because I was like, man, you know what? This year I gotta act different. I gotta stop, going to physical shit hella quick. I gotta get to know the person, this and that. So I
Yeah.
like tried to like take this woman out sober. I didn't drink. I didn't do nothing, and we still ended up having sex, right? But I was like, damn, why did I do that? You know what I'm saying? I almost kind of felt the way about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I try to communicate it. Like I
Yeah.
asked her about it. I was like, man, like how you feel about that? You feel me? And then she was just kind of like, I mean, it was good. You feel me? It is what it is. Like I don't feel no way about it. This and
Yeah.
that, and
You feel like
that
you could
kind
have
of
waited
it
and
bothered me
it
a
could
little
have
bit.
like take some time and really get to know each other before.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
bothered me a little bit because then it's crazy like a man complaining about fucking and
No,
shit.
but
But
you'd be surprised of how many women just they hold off for so long and then they find good sex and they like, okay,
yeah,
what's the problem?
yeah, and
Like,
and I'd be trying to explain to him it's like I'm you're dealing with a man that's like trying to like rewire my brain and my
yeah,
perceptions of women. So when you're doing certain things, it kind of makes me like, well, see, so they're all the same. Might as well act this way, that way. It kind of reaffirms that, and that kind of disappointed me. She ended up doing some other stuff that I just was like, this is
strike
you.
three.
You are not feeling. You are not. Um, you're not showing up how I would want a woman that's with me to show up. You know what I mean?
Right.
On social media and all this and that. And I'm just like, I ain't got, I'm not gonna try. I
So
brought it
you
up to
feel
her.
like it was already like it was already scarred, and
It
then
was scar.
you put the band-aid over it, and the
Yeah,
scarring just never really healed.
yeah, yeah. Cause she did something else. She had another trait about her that I tried to bring up, and I knew I had a problem with it, and then just
So you
her
feel if
response to it.
communication would have been had before this even happened, things would have been completely different. If it was like a really, do you feel like? Because I feel like what is moving too fast? Like, what time limit do you feel like she should have did a 90-day rule and hold
Nah,
you out for 90 days? Like, what made it seem like, man, it's all fucked up because we did this?
I don't think no, I don't think it wasn't that. It wasn't that because I might have felt that, but then I shook out of that first. I was like, you know what? It is what it is. The attraction was there. She felt safe enough with me. It's not like we was drinking or not. We was literally
Right.
sober and that happened. So sometimes shit just happens. So I continued to see her after that. So that wasn't even it. It was more the couple of things she did, and I kind of brought it up, and I was like, hey, I kind of feel a way about that, this and
Yeah.
that, and she explained it, but it also was very much the vibe of like this is me, this is what I do.
Yeah.
So that you know
So
what I mean.
the
And
ending of the part was just like we just gonna have to agree to disagree.
yeah, yeah, and that right there, I have zero tolerance because I have lived years with people, and that was where we was at. We
Yeah,
agreed to
that agreed to
disagree.
agree. I don't like that
I
word.
hate that
That's
shit.
not only with relationships, with friendships too. And
Yeah,
what do you mean agree to disagree? Like I have these values and morals and all these things that are happening. I'm telling you about a situation, and you're defending it to where I mean it's a lack of acknowledgement of my feelings in a sense.
yeah, yeah. And
Like
that to me really sums up the whole weed thing. Like I'm not. We just agreeing to disagree on
yeah,
the how to operate around the weed thing. That's all it is. It's not a resolution. It's let's just deal with it. Let's just sweep it under
right,
the rug and still maneuver with each other. But you're gonna do something different. You're gonna act different when you're not with me. It's not a.
yeah.
It's not a solution. It's just a
Put it on a
avoidance.
facade.
Yeah, we're just gonna avoid it. You know what I mean? And and even with that weed shit, but I don't know. To me, I ever
It's a lot
understand.
of weed. What if you? Oh, it's still the same thing. Because I'm like, what if a girl do edibles and don't smoke? Like, is that different? But
It's
it's a
kind of
different.
the
It's still the
same.
same
It's
thing.
the
It's still
same. to
But
me,
she'd be like, I only do 2-3 milligrams when I go to bed.
Yeah.
So it helps me to go to sleep. Like, what's that? Like, is that
now? See that. I probably wouldn't be worried. Like I probably wouldn't trip because you're
so
sleeping.
It's a certain.
I'm not trying to connect with you while we sleep. You know what I mean?
So it's only when you're awake.
It's only when you're awake because that's only when the barrier's up. Because now
right.
you know what I mean. I just I'll tell you another story. I love telling my business on this shit. I was fucking with this one. Not even. This was just one time.
Yeah.
I went met up with this bro, and. This is I've been trying to fight. I always try to be like, oh man, we's cool, it's whatever, you chilling, but it triggers me, but it really like I remember she was smoking that night. I might even hit the tree too. I had my little drink. And like I said, when we're high and we're disconnecting, we're escaping and we're like stimulating, it is what it is. It's a tool. That's what it's for, right?
So, what if it's just special occasions? Like, right?
That's fine. That's fine. Okay. You know what I mean? I'm not like, you better never, I'm not like crazy. Like, my thing is just like,
oh, you smoking? Fuck no. Let me get up out of here.
Yeah. I mean, because I'll smoke with you. Like, smoking and having sex is way better, right? That's the saying. I'm not downplaying the weed. I guess it's the motive for when you're doing it and why you're doing it. You know what I mean? But anyway, but also too the characteristics of it, because then in the morning, because Lil Mama she was a pothead for real, you know what I mean? And then she was
wake and bake.
Oh man, she was a wake and bake. She had the dog, and I ain't gonna lie, I got a thing with dogs, bro.
So she was getting the dog high and everything.
I love dogs. To me, your dog. I'm sorry, bro. Yeah. I'm not dating nobody after this show. Dog shit, I don't like dogs in the bed, bro. That shit is like, like there's little things. And I know I'm not the only one. Other people share this opinion. They just don't say it because they don't want to fuck up their chant. But
it's not even, you were just saying how you're weeding these out. So don't stop saying that you're not going to find anybody on here. Yeah, you will find the right person on here.
Because there's somebody that's like,
somebody like, fuck, he gets me. Yeah, he gets me, he understands me.
Slide in that DM.
There you go. Sure. You got this.
So anyway, with this story, she had a dog, and I feel like if you have a dog in the house, you better be a cleanly motherfucker, bro. You better be on some like vacuuming every day, like keeping up with the smell. If you ain't washed the dog bed, it's gonna start. So like the weed kind of was covering that smell, and then I woke up in the morning. We had a cool night again because we high and we drunk and whatever. But this is my problem, because then when all that shit wear off and you have to deal with the real reality of who you dealing with, she's a beautiful girl, man. But in the morning she's smoking. So then I'm like, now I'm perceiving it through a sober mind. You feel me? I'm looking like she got to keep going. It fake smelling here. She high. Her eyes is all fucking like, high eyes, like a little low. She like, where you going? She trying to get it cracking again. I'm literally, she trying to do her thing, and I'm just looking at her. She looking up at me. I'm like, bruh, today.
It's bad.
I'm telling you, when it ain't working, it ain't working. I'm looking at the dog. I'm like, it's hella bright in here now. I really see I see her, like how her room, like, I'm just like, and again, like you said, I think you said it. What are you? I had to tell myself, what are you doing, bro?
Yeah.
You are not attracted to none of this. This is a lifestyle. There's a pothead out here that would love. He gonna come in here. Oh man, you're beautiful. Let's roll up. I love this little dog. Let me play with the dog. And to me, I'm like, bro, this shit stink. You slow as fuck. You see, I got my. But
everybody is meant for. There's somebody out there for everybody, but that's just not for you.
It wasn't for me, and she couldn't even. Her high mind didn't even understand. I'm trying to go. I got my whole ass jeans on, and she's trying to pull. I had some tighter jeans on too. She's trying to pull the jeans off and do her thing, looking up at me like, "Why? Wake it up, wake it up." I'm like, "Girl, it ain't waking up." Shut up. I fucking walked up out of there. I ain't never seen that girl in my life again, bro. I was out, man. I was like, "What?" And I'll tell him. I was like, "Man, you can't win them all, man." I just walked up out of there and left. She was probably it sound mean, and it kind of was, because again I was a little younger, so I probably should have communicated. But how do you communicate that?
It's a way of saying it without saying, like you were saying. There's a way to, Yeah, it's a way of saying it without saying coming off as like disrespectful or
Yeah.
like you could still be like, yeah, I'm just not feeling this. Like, I thought that this was cool in the beginning, but then I'm starting to see that it's not working well. Like, there's
Yeah,
certain
yeah.
ways to say it without hurting someone's feelings. Like, you could be like, man, this dog dirty, this house dirty,
Yeah.
fuck this shit, and just walk away.
Yeah,
Or you could
yeah.
be like, look, I gotta go. I'm not feeling it. I'm gonna have to talk to you later about it. We can have a conversation and be cool with it.
Yeah.
And yeah, just kind
That
of
would have been interesting.
it would like
It's
like,
funny because but see,
so did you like red out? Like I could just see you
nah,
just like fuck off me. Like,
nah, she was feeling a way though. She was
Yeah.
like, man, what the? Because we kind of went at it the night before,
yeah.
did our thing or whatever, and then it just was like a light switch because it was, and that
reality set in.
I'm telling
and
you,
then you just ghosted her.
and yeah, for sure,
And that's the part where I'm just like, why do men ghost women and why do women ghost men? Like, why can't we just sit there and have a conversation and talk about it, and then go our separate ways and be like, damn, like I really like and I think that's what fucked me up the most from my previous situationship is the fact that it's just like, why can't we just talk it out? I'm not even talk it out to like get back. I knew it was already a done deal, but the fact that it's just like, where's the closure?
Mm-hmm.
Where's the closure so I can move forward and be like, okay, A, B, and C happen, and A, B. I had to literally figure it out myself and just kind of create that story in my mind for most of it, and then continue to move on.
And the cool part is that shit might be 100% wrong.
Yeah,
but
we never not gonna know because you can't sit there and have a conversation with me.
Yeah. But the brain, like that's literally what the brain does. If you don't know something, it'll create something just so to shut your shit up.
And I feel like that's big in our community and our culture when it comes to people of color. We tend to walk away from shit when shit get like when stuff like when it comes to traumatic experiences in the household with family and relationships with parents, with siblings, when it comes to relationships in general, it's just like, fuck this, I'm walking away. Like you're not gonna hurt my energy, like you're not gonna do that. It's so funny. I was just talking to my cousin Sade and I was telling her like I used to be like that. Like I used to literally be like, nah, like you're not gonna fuck up my energy. I'm walking away from all of this. I don't need none of this. And I literally will walk away from it. But now I'm like, no, I'm about to tell you what the fuck you did to me. I'm gonna let you know what's up. I'm gonna let you know what you did, how you did it, and why I didn't like it. And then I want to hear what you have to say. And if I don't like what you have to say, then I'm like, okay, this is not gonna work. Like, and then that's gonna be that agree to disagree. Well, you can agree to disagree, and you can do you, and I'm gonna do me. But I'm gonna love you from a distance. I wish you nothing but the best. I'm gonna wish you peace. I'm gonna wish you everything, and I'm gonna move on. Like, but we can't communicate. Communication is the number one key when it comes to relationships in all areas of life. Communication is key when you're in the workplace, when you're working with someone at your job. Communication is key in relationships. Communication is key with family, with friends, everything. You got to communicate wherever you go. You have to have you have to hold that conversation and talk to people and tell them how you feel.
That's
and a lot of people. And you were saying that too when you were at my house when you were chatting me, and you were talking about how that masculine energy, man, got to be man. They can't be vulnerable. They can't be open up. They can't talk. They can't do these things because they all their life growing up, they was like, oh, you soft, like, oh, you this, you that, oh, you little sissy boy, like, you can't portray that. So it's like this. You have to grow up strong. You have to be tough. You have to be this masculine man where you don't know how to turn it on or turn it off. And that feminine energy is just, it's not really there. Because if it is, it's like, man, you gay. Like that type of energy, you know? So that part is kind of like, I just went on in a like.
No, that's real shit though. That's real shit. And I think it's like a cultural thing. And that's why I even that's what I'm saying. I like talking about this shit and like having these conversations because then people could like understand and like they could hear the stories and shit and see like, oh damn, like because somebody's out there that did the same exact thing I did. You feel me? But they're like, because even a younger me is like ghosting. I would ghost girls and I would find like an internal way to justify why I ghosted them. You know what I mean? Like why would I go through it? Because it is uncomfortable. Why would I go through the uncomfortable situation of communicating why I kind of ain't feeling this or I gotta go when I've known you for an hour and we just did all this shit. Like there is a like a respect factor in there.
Yeah,
You
it's
know what I'm
a
saying?
respect, and it's a respect. She will have more respect for you for communicating with her, but also the fact that it's just like it's morals and it's values. It's like it's character. So she's
Yeah.
like, "Fuck this! Like he did that to me. Like what kind of character? Like who is he? Like?"
Yeah.
And then you're trying to justify it to where it's just like, "Nah, I can't deal with that because that's just that type of energy. I gotta back away from that." But
And the fact that like you carry yourself this way, I done put you in the hoe box. You don't deserve an
right.
explanation of why I'm leaving. That's what our minds go into.
But
That's what
then you could actually be helping her by communicating with her and letting her know what's going on for the next relationship she's in.
yeah,
Do you see that? Do you?
I do see that, but I also see women that are moving that way are sometimes I don't think they're looking for a relationship. You know what I'm saying? They
Yeah,
looking
there are
for
women out there.
exactly what the fuck we
Same with
did.
men. There's
You know
men
what I'm
out there
saying?
that are.
So that's part of it. Like the
Yeah.
part of like we like to say like, okay, let's communicate, let's explain why this and this happened. But literally, there's a lack of disrespect from both ends.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like the
So
one.
do you think it's better for just them two to walk, like two people to walk away when things are not, instead of communicating and letting them know why this is happening?
I think it could be go both ways. I think one scenario would be like those two people that are moving that way aren't even one looking to even get better. They
Right.
look they it that interaction served its purpose and they
Yeah.
out. You know what I mean? That girl is. I knew he was a fuckboy when I gave him my number. I just wanted some dick. This guy is like, oh man, that bitch knew what she wanted. This and that. We out.
Yeah.
Done deal. We have switch, and then the best case scenario would be we gonna situationship or sneaky link each other, and that's gonna be it.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people don't want to go to that next level. They don't care to
And it works
take
for them.
something. Yeah, exactly. So there's a.
And
I
it
feel like
works for
that's a
them.
big majority. So like even the shit we're saying is only gonna land on so many people's ears.
And we're gonna
the right way,
weave out the ones that don't belong in this conversation, and then the ones that do, they're gonna speak up about it in the comments.
Yeah, because there's people y'all need to comment because y'all don't comment shit. I'm trying to get some. I was gonna say that too, like drop a comment or subscribe or something. But yeah, I think that's what's so interesting with the world, and that's gonna segue to my next point would be that whole group, that those two individuals like that, the girl that just wants some dick, the guy that just want to fuck, whatever. Let's just put a physical appearance to those people, right? That woman. Let's just like hypothetically. I know everybody looks different or carries themselves different ways or whatever, but like let's just that female, for instance, that's moving that way. You feel me? Let's just say
I feel like it never ends well, but that's also I've been in that situation where I was like, oh, this is, I don't want no relationship. I got things to do like this and that. And then after a while, it's like, damn, we like 2-3 years in, like I'm starting to like, you starting to look more to me like, I'm putting my feelings and I'm putting my emotions in something that where he was just like, he's still like, nah, I'm still having fun.
Yep, I've definitely done that.
So that's happened a lot where women, because I mean, not all women, but we can't turn it off the way that men can turn it off.
Yeah.
We're just not physically built that way. Like we have emotions. So it's like,
no, that's real shit. And what I was gonna say though is like a woman that's moving that way, let's just say the weekend warrior type of woman.
Yeah.
That's just wanting to go to get a man at the club or whatever. They may look a certain way, right? And when we go out, we go to that, or even anywhere, like we go out and we see a woman that they kind of look similar. It's very hard.
Look alike.
Yeah, look alike or whatever. It's hard for us men to pick apart. And that's what we get used to operating with women that, let's just say, baby hair girl. We get used to operating with women that way, and they just want to do that. And when we see a woman that may kind of like fit the same or whatever, it's very hard to like take that one serious because in our mind, it's almost it's like a desensitization or whatever. Like we're just our mind. Oh, this woman's thick, or she got this look or that look. She must carry herself like this other girl that's twerking or whatever. You know what I mean? They're just so close in resemblance, and I think that's the problem we have. Like I know a lot of women that have that exterior. They look a certain way, but they don't vibe, or they're like sweet. You feel me? They're little sweethearts, and they stay getting reproached like aggressively, or they stay getting just like painted with the same brush as these other women. But it's hard for us men to be like, oh, you don't act like that, or you know what I mean? And that's why I think that's one of the problems with social media is because everybody's like mirroring each other. Like, okay, look at this girl, they get a lot of attention, so I'm gonna start doing that. And I always tell women, it's not about that. It's about the type of attention you want. You know what I mean? They mix up attention and somebody caring about them. You know what I mean? It's like, somebody hitting you up, oh, he gives me a lot of attention. No, he just wants to know what he can get out of you. You know what I'm saying? It's not also, true. It's not
I feel
genuine.
like it's understanding one another's love languages as well. Like if I give that person, and then I feel like that's also a vulnerability, like opening up and letting them know, like I like this, this is something that makes me happy. What are they gonna do to do that? Like, and I'm receiving his love languages as well. What am I gonna do? Like, it got to be. And most of the time, it's not. It's one person putting in all the work, and the other person is just like, oh, I'm gonna receive. I'm gonna keep taking. She's gonna keep giving. I'm gonna take. And same for men. Like, I mean, same for women. If he keep giving me gifts and taking me out to eat and all this stuff, like, oh, he about to get my hair and my nails done. Like, I'm gonna keep on receiving. And it's like Valentine's Day and all these things, and Father's Day and all these stuff come up, and it left the man like nothing. And not even on these certain events, but like just because. Those things are not being taken care of, and that's just the type of person that they end up being with, because they looked at outer appearance, they looked at all these other things before looking at personality and character.
Now I guess why the love language shit is definitely it definitely gets tricky. You know what I mean? Because we don't wear a fucking sign that says mine is words of affirmation. Mine is this and that.
We should do a dating thing where people write that and put their love languages on it and see how many people
you should matches. Do that. We should do an event like a mixer, but you had to write that.
Oh, that would be so
mixer / speed dating.
Speed dating, and you have to write your love languages and then stick it on you before people even understand.
That's got to be a thing. Name. That's like too perfect. Somebody thought that.
Yeah, it got to be.
That. We should make that up. But man. But I think So kind of just to like backtrack, like, so now since that last episode, you've kind of like you're more of what would you say? You're more like in your feminine essence.
I'm more in tune. I'm more on my feminine energy. I'm more loving on me. And then also
got you that weighted blanket.
Yeah. And I actually need a heavier one. So
she need 2 men. You can just double them up.
I need 2 Leroys.
Yeah, double them up.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's amazing. But then I even just like order me some goose down pillows, like just stuff that's just like, and the reason why I ordered that is because I had trouble sleeping. So it's just like things, I'm taking care of myself mentally, physically, and spiritually.
Yeah.
And I continue to find new ways to be more in tune on things as well, like even the breath work and the Reiki healing and shout out to Angelina. I'm gonna get you connected with her. Yeah, she's amazing. Yeah. But my massages by Lucy, just going to all these different things that's taking care of me, and then also the Sunday hikes, like doing that, and then it's so funny because one thing I've learned last year was that I was giving myself to so many people. I was giving, and I felt like what was given in return? Like I felt like I wasn't receiving the same type of energy I was giving. So I kind of had to like I had to like create boundaries, but also I was like, I still love these people. So let me find a way to, come to the Sunday hike. We could talk there. like, oh, let's hang out, let's go for drinks. I'm not on that hype anymore. But hey, Sundays, 9 o'clock,
Yeah.
like every
Not completely
Sunday,
cutting it off, but just wanting to interact in ways that
in
like
ways
feed you
that feed
more.
your soul, feed your
Yeah.
spirit, and like even it's healing hikes and homies. Like that's the name of the whole thing. It's like
Hmm.
let me make sure I'm in a space where I could connect with people, I could still talk to people, and we could still work out and still do what we got to do. And it's a trip because the people that come, they come, and then the people that don't come, I'm starting to like see like, okay, if you really want to have that connection with me as a friend or as a family member or as a even relationship, if you want to go
The
and
effort.
you put in that effort, and it's not
Hmm.
hard, like, and it's to feed your soul too.
Yeah,
Let's go
yeah.
for a hike, let's go for a walk. And there's so many different levels to it too. I'm like, okay, this one's blacktop, or this
Mm.
one's hill, this one's this miles, this
So
and
it's
that.
like ain't no excuse. Like just get out there. Yeah.
Yeah, and just do it.
Can I ask you a question? Like the whole like feeding yourself and like treating yourself to certain things and this and that.
Yeah.
What was your upbringing? Did you have a male influence that kind of like you feel did those things and obviously like in the kid version, but like
Yeah.
that had that space for you?
Growing up, yes. My parents divorced when I was 1, and I lived with my mom till like elementary school, and then I went to go live with my dad. So I was raised, and then my dad was around too, so he would come and pick me up on weekends and stuff. And I learned a lot from my father, and I
Mm-hmm.
learned a lot from my mother, and I learned a lot of different stuff. And my parents had me at a young age, so I feel like we kind of grew up together in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
um, and I learned a lot though. I've learned like a lot with the male role in my life, all the way up till I was like 18, and then
Mm-hmm.
like my dad married and kind of moved away, and it kind of like we had conflict. And it's a trip that you mentioned that because today's his birthday,
Oh shit! Happy B
and
Day.
and we've we've communicated every now and then sometimes it will kind of be like off the grid, and I feel like um part of it is like I'm conflicted now
Mm.
as an adult. I feel like I felt like I felt he was, I don't know, I'm so like
Yeah,
stuttering and everything about it
yeah.
too. So now I know it's like hitting
Cool. I
you
knew.
got it.
That's why I was like, I
You
was looking
hit
for that. I was like,
something.
ooh, let me
So
get
I
in
don't feel
there.
like like I had to like really stop because in the beginning I was just like, is it daddy issues? Is it this? Is it that? Like, how do I feel? But I feel like I still have male figures in my life. Like, not
Mm-hmm.
only when my dad decided to remarry and kind of like neglect his kids in a sense,
Mm-hmm.
I had my uncle, which is my dad's older brother, and
Mm-hmm.
he came in as a male figure in my life and taught me so much from so many different standpoints. Not just when it comes to relationships, but even like how to manage your money, how to do like every little thing. Like, and it was funny too because we had these things like he was treating me kind of like a boy. Sometimes it was push-ups on call if I didn't tuck in my bed because he was
Mm.
militant on certain things. But
Mm-hmm.
like just making sure, but he wanted to make sure, and he was like, make sure that bathroom was clean. Like he was really big on making sure bathroom was clean. So like
Mm-hmm.
I make sure my bathroom is always freaking spotless. And he
Mm-hmm.
said, and it's so funny because he never told me why. And then as I got older, like I visit him all the time, and he lives in Vegas, of course. So that's why I'm in Vegas a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But when I went out there. I think this was like last year, and he was like, "You know why I told you that?" And I was like, "No, why?" He was like, "Because when I used to date women, the first thing I would look at, I would go into their bathroom and take a look at their bathroom and see and
Mm-hmm.
make sure that it was
That's a
clean."
big.
Yeah,
Like me, I'm telling you, you gotta zero in because you ain't. It don't matter what they say. It's the surroundings and what they're
yeah,
doing and what they're posting and all of that. Like
yeah,
that's where it's at. But the reason I asked you about that is because I know like what we do as kids and how we're treated as kids, we grow
yeah.
up with that. You know what I mean? So even to hear you say when I
There
asked you,
was trauma.
yeah,
There was definitely trauma in the household.
that, but also like I guess we kind of like to me, I think we like build this model of like if men do this, this is what we look for as a man. So like even for you, there was nothing necessary. It was mostly like education. Like he taught me this. I learned a lot. I learned
Yeah.
this and that.
Growing up, I was definitely a daddy's girl. I was
Yeah.
definitely a daddy's girl. Like
Yeah.
anytime I seen my dad, I would scream and he would pick me up and like we would go places and
Yeah.
I learned music from him and all these different things. But there was also traumatic situations as well.
Yeah.
And in my teenage years in high school, we got in physical altercations.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
but it also that kind of taught like it was bad, but it also taught me like I'll never have a man put his hands on me ever.
Yeah.
Never
Yeah.
have a man put his hands on me because
Yeah.
I was like, if anytime a man, if in I don't think it will ever happen like that because I'm not a physical person
Yeah.
and I'm
Yeah.
a very like, but I feel like most people that are on the empath and healing and crystals and stuff like that had to go through so much in
Yeah.
order for them to be where they
For
are.
sure. For
So
sure.
it's like that's not where I am, but I know I could, you know, I could
Mhm.
know how to turn it on and I know how to turn it off. In a
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah. Mhm.
But yeah, I've experienced a lot, and I feel like part of that had to do with the relationships now.
Mhm.
And there's a lot of times where it was a trust issue,
Mhm.
like, and I feel like I don't trust my dad, so
Mhm.
how can I trust relationships? So I had to kind of learn from that
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. And that's kind of where I'm at with it too. Is like seeing how adults moved and the lack of relationships around me, and even the ones I did see, you know, you could tell they, you know, whatever, they bent the corner and he said, you know, he yelled or did something, you know, I was like, oh, okay, man, I don't really, that shit don't sound fun at all. Like
Yeah.
there was nothing like, oh shit, I can't wait to grow up and get married. And I
Yeah.
think that is a symbol of just like growing up with like trauma in your life, you know what I mean? 'Cause-
Visualizing that abuse,
Yeah.
whether it's verbal abuse or physical abuse,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
seeing that.
Or neglect, you know what I mean? I
or
just was
neglect.
reading about that. Like even the neglect is just as bad as the actual present of trauma. It's the same shit.
And as an adult,
Yeah.
like I said, I felt like I was raised by my father till I was 18 when he got married, and then he kind of went off. But I felt like that was like neglect, him
Mhm.
leaving, and then he'll come back and then talk, and I'll be like, oh, he's back in my life, and then he'll leave again. I'm like, fuck, like,
Yeah.
and feeling that, I felt like I I really want people to be like this is another thing, and this is what you have to be a man of your word. That's my biggest pet peeve. Don't say that you're going to do something and don't do it. So if you say that you're going to do this A, B, and C, then you hold on to your word. Don't go fall back on that.
Yeah,
That's just that's not okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So I feel like part of that has to do part of that I'm really big on that. So if you're not on your word, and I feel like you're a liar, like, and that's it. And I walk away from that. And I've walked away from so many relationships because of that. But now I'm like, I want to communicate with this.
Yeah, I'm telling you why as I'm walking
I'm
away.
telling you why.
Yeah,
like that's
yeah.
where I'm at now.
Yeah,
so it's like
that's
I'm not
good.
gonna walk away from this anymore. I'm gonna tell you, I want to know why. I want to know why you did this to me and why you felt that it was okay for you to pull that.
Yeah, yeah. It's interesting to me, like when I hear like people talk about the upbringing, how like say for instance, you kind of felt neglect, how he left or whatever, how that it invokes like like different things out of people. Like you know what I mean? Like one would be like, okay, that neglect scarred me, so like I don't want to be neglected or anything. But then also, like in my case, like my dad did the same thing. Like he left probably I was like 2 or 3 or something. So from a young age, I was already like thinking like when shit's hard or when shit ain't working out, you can dip. Like you don't have to do nothing. You know what I mean? There's nothing that you just gotta do. So I've noticed that in my I've had a battle of that because that's the same thing. When shit gets real hard, like I said, when you smoke, nope, I'm out.
It's out.
It's
and
nothing.
It happens to so many people. So it stems from that childhood trauma.
Yeah, yeah. Either that or like somebody could maybe have the same, or I had to like twist it. Like even in the case with my kids, I've had a very, it's been a kind of a struggle being a father. Like it's been probably for sure the hardest thing I ever did. Just with the emotions and whatever, the uncertainty or not thinking you're doing what you're supposed to be. All this shit has been like stressful, right? So I've had times where I was like, man, fuck this shit. Like you know what I mean? But I had to spin it and be like, no, I went through that.
I'm not doing this.
There's nothing that can happen that I would be able to do that. You know what I mean? So it's weird how we once you identify, that's why I like talking about it, because once you identify, like, why do I want to just like get my keys and drive off and never come back?
Yeah.
Why is that? Oh, it's because I've seen it. I know it's possible,
And it's been done to me.
and it's been done to me. How did it feel? What problems did it cause as a grown man? And am I going to do that to my kids? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's like when I see dads, it's like twofold. Like when I see dads do it, I got an empathy because I know what took them there and they mentally. But then I also am like, bruh, like how you gonna do that after that got done to you? You know what I mean?
Now peep this. This is last week. He reached out to my cousin, and he wants to make amends with all his kids now.
How you feel about that?
It was so funny because when I talked to her, I was like, "Oh, I see my therapist on Sunday, so let me talk to my therapist first, and then we could go back to this." And it was so funny because when I had a conversation with her, she was just literally like letting me know, like, you know, how do you feel about this? Really deep down, I was just like, this is not nothing new. This is something
he's done that before?
Yeah, you come in, we talk, we have a conversation. Yeah, I want you to be in my life, and then it's like you don't hear from. I don't hear from him at all. Mm-hmm. So just like but then I've already mentally said this gonna happen. This gonna happen again. This gonna happen again.
Yeah,
so this what's different now is that I'm in a much better place. Like I feel like it's so funny. I posted this too. I was just like, it feels so good to not like I care, but I don't care. Like I care for that person. I hope they're doing great. I have so much love for you. But it's like that sharp pain that I used to feel in my heart. That shit is gone. I could literally have a conversation and still feel good and still like really like I really want to get down to the core of this. So this is something, if you want to be in my life and you want to have a relationship with your daughter, the only way that this can happen is if we go to family therapy. If you want to, if we could do this virtually, you in the South, so you in Atlanta, we could do this virtually. We'll pull up a cam, we'll get a family therapist, and we could talk. And that's the only way that I'll allow you to be, if you want to be back into my life. We're gonna have to do family therapy.
Which I think is justified, because it's like you've already let him in and he's kind of didn't show up, he didn't stick it out or whatever. Now I'll let you back in, but it's gonna be on these terms, which is justifiable. You know what I mean? I don't think nothing's wrong with that. I do think it's worth like doing it. Like, cause some people I've heard they're like, nah, I'm good, this and that. But you're putting like very rigid restrictions on something that like there's gonna be a time where that's not even gonna be an option. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he ain't here
Life
no more.
is short. You gotta live every day as if it's your last.
Yeah.
And then not only that, say that it's a long, another 10 years go by or another this, but you tried and you put in the effort and the work of something that you want to build, you want to grow, or you want to connect and have this relationship with this person, because you know this has affected all your relationships, your current relationships, your relationships with my relationships dealing with men. I know it stems from that. I know it. I see it. I recognize it, and I put in the work to heal from that. And I also had to pull from outlets of men in my life to get that male energy that I needed in order for me to be like, okay, this is good, this is not good. Like having that advice, that male advice that I needed from my father that I never received, I got it from other places.
That's why I asked that, because like I wonder if like if a girl grew up and never had that male influence, like, oh, let me go get you some ice cream, or let me go whatever, let me go buy you a dress, or like that nurturing, very like giving with possessions, whatever, hugging, what that creates as an adult. Like, does it create somebody that super yearns for it, or does it create a woman that doesn't even need it? Like, you don't miss what you don't know. You know what I'm saying?
And that was definitely especially in my 20s to early 30s. That was like, oh, I'll walk away real quick. And I feel like that was part of it. It was just like, I don't need this, I don't need that. Like, I got it. Like, I could take care of myself. And have that high independence, masculine energy. Like, I'm good.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you know, and sometimes being aggressive in order to walk away from situations because it's not serving me the way that I wanted to be served in a sense, instead of like open, like looking more internal than anything. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. No, that's a good point. Yeah, because I had the same thing, like growing up, like very dismissive, like, man, I'm doing my own thing. You know what I mean? But that only lasts so long. And I've seen
Yeah.
it peek in his head, and I think that's kind of why I even started being trying to connect the dots of why I do this and do that, whatever, because I know I have it in me to like acquire that woman that we're talking about. You
Yeah.
feel me? And when I get, because like
Would
when
you
you start, huh?
would you want to go and connect with your father or try to find your father or
I know my dad.
yeah,
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 yeah. I
yeah.
met, like, yeah. I don't like have contact with him that much or anything like that. But,
Would you want to build a stronger relationship with him?
um, I would be down, and I thought about it. I realize, I realize this with a lot of people. This is just a life thing. Not everybody is. I can almost even say nobody. Nobody is going to show up for you the way you in your mind expect it. You know what I mean? Like my kids taught me that because I had a lot of expectations of on myself, what I should be as a dad, how they should react when I do this and
Yeah.
that, and all that. Like the more you expect, the more life just like blows it back in
Right.
your face. So I say that to say, like, even my dad, the times that I have spent with him, um, I've just seen what kind of man he is, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? And I've kind of just like went back in time, like, okay, he was probably like this so many years ago. He didn't have it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? He didn't have it.
So
He
maybe it
don't
was a
even have
good
it.
thing for
Yeah,
yeah.
that,
Yeah.
and he shows me. I feel like he tries to show me love like in his own way. Like, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? He probably gonna
The
watch
best
it.
way he knows
Yeah,
how.
he'll show me like he'll send me like little memes and shit like that, and I'm just like, bro, I don't even, but it's you're trying to like communicate, you know,
Yeah.
like we don't sometimes that person don't have the words, you know what I mean, and don't speak that language, you know what
Yeah.
I mean, and like I've been people where I've tried to connect with them the way I wanted to connect using my language, and it's almost like talking to a wall, you feel me? And it's not a negative,
Yeah.
it's not a. I learned that it's like you can't look at it and be like, oh my god, it's just like it's okay. Let me step back. I try to speak my language. Now how do they show up for me in their way? You know what I mean? And I've
Yeah.
seen this happen a lot with a lot of people and their parents. We always are like, oh my God, man, my dad, he doesn't do this. I wish he would just do it. Like that shit is just like forget it. Forget
Yeah.
any
Yeah.
expectation you had and just show up and look at what's actually happening. How does this person show up? I had a friend of mine that she was like, I can't open up to my mom. She don't. She just. I can't talk to her. I can't tell her about any good things that are happening in my life because she's always
And
like a
there's mommy
Debbie
issues
Downer.
too.
All this shit. She's very negative. This and that. And then she was like, "Yeah, I had this. What she said? She said like I got a party or something, and I went out and she didn't want to go out. She just wanted to stay home and like cook because they have food for the event or whatever. She wanted to cook and she didn't even want to show up. This and that. And I was like, man, you know what? On this situation like this, you almost got to zoom out.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's not like you can't, she didn't come to the thing that you wanted to do, this and that. But what did she do? She stood back. I'm gonna cook all this food for the thing after.
Yeah.
That's what she contributed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. She
And I
put
don't,
in the effort and the work
yeah,
of some way, of the best way she knew how to
exactly.
create.
And I don't think a lot of kids, we as kids, we even friendships or whatever, we don't think about like we're so stuck on like what we want that person to do for us that we ain't
Yeah.
even looking at what they do. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And I think once we,
Woo,
that's
that's a
real, that's a
bar.
big one. We'll put that, clip it out. And then, but no, that's real shit because it's it's made me come to peace with a lot of stuff. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like even for my dad, like we went fishing and a couple times and stuff with my brothers and shit. And like I don't after interacting with him, I don't expect to have like a deep ass conversation with him and talk about feelings and talk about how things work.
Would you want to have that?
Um, at this point, not really, just because I know I know what my feelings are around it. I've
Yeah.
digested them that way, and I'm okay with his communication being just sitting on the bank with a fishing pole, having a few beers. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like that. at a certain point has to be enough, you know. And the more we as humans, we like, no, but I want more. I want him to feel this. I want him to hear it.
Yeah.
No, motherfucker, that's another human. He don't gotta act or react or know the words I'm saying. And that. We expect a lot out of people. You know what I mean? And I think that's what a lot of our turmoil in our heads is about. You feel me? Just like one like I speak English, this motherfucker speak Chinese. I want him to speak English. It's just not gonna happen,
it's not
bro.
gonna work.
You know what I mean? And it's and there are cases where somebody he gonna go to school and learn English or whatever, but like you know what I'm
think
trying
that's
to say?
what I'm afraid of.
What?
Like he's not gonna get it.
Yeah, yeah.
Like and it's a trip because I spoke with my brother and he was like, Dad called me. And I'm like, what's up? And then he kind of told me and I'm like, it's a repetitive cycle. He literally was just like, yeah, he's talking to me like nothing happened. Like he was like, you know, let the past be the past, let's move forward. And I'm like, he said that, let the past be the past.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like, how can we move forward when you can't even own up to all the bullshit, you know?
Yeah.
So
that's
it's heavy.
Yeah, it is. It's because that we want to be heard, we want to be felt, we want to feel like, you know, it's tough. But it's like, again, if you speak in a language that person
are we gonna meet that person where they are, or are we gonna be able to address the issues? And I feel like it is.
I think for our own sanity, you gotta meet them. It's not even
just helping me. I want to help him.
Yeah, because you want to teach him that language. You know what I mean? But
things would be better if A, B, and C. Like if you really address the issues and that stem from you in trauma. Like speak up on these things. And I feel like having a conversation with a therapist can help you with that.
Yeah.
Like, and a lot of Black people in the community, they don't seek therapy.
Yeah.
They feel like, what I look like talking to somebody about my problems? Like,
and
there's a lot of problems that stem in all of us.
Yeah.
So I feel like there's just a lot that he's held on to that he don't know how to release and let go of.
Yeah, and it is sad because you understand, like, man, it would feel so good. It's literally you can put it in any other situation. It's like having a overweight person, a friend that you know, bro, if you just did this and this, you would lose weight. And they're just like, nah, you just watching them.
They just doing what
they
want to do.
So do you either cut them off, you're not listening to my things, and you're not.
If you're finding solutions to a problem and you're helping this person and you know this person is dying on the inside and they continuously complain about the situation they're in, you find solutions for them and you give them. It's like that saying, you could bring the horse to the water, but you can't make the horse drink.
Yeah.
And that's that situation. Like, what?
So
it's only so much that I can do before I'm like, okay, I've told you A, B, and C, and you're still combative on this whole thing. So I'm out.
Yeah.
Like I can't.
So it's just like, do you just not even like fuck the horse altogether? You know what I mean?
Love that person from a distance.
Yeah, you set up boundaries. You know, like, I still like horses.
Protective boundaries.
Yeah.
Protect your space. Protect your energy. Yeah. I mean, every now and then it's okay to connect with that person, but it's not going to be how I don't want to be like how you want to. Like, it's not a control thing.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's not where your space is, and why would you want to have that type of energy in when everything else is aligned to yourself?
Yeah.
So there's a disalignment. Why would I want to keep trying to pull from something that's not aligning to my space and my protective energy?
Exactly. And you just I think you just do that, you put your boundaries, and you just hope that maybe there comes a time where they do, like, oh man, you know what? She seems hella happy. I just see her, this and that. Man, fuck it, I'm gonna try this therapy. You almost got the like lead by example type of thing. It's almost like an addiction type of thing. Like when people are whatever, when they come out of come out of the party life or whatever, and then they tell their friends like, hey, I still love you, whatever, but I can't be around that, this and that. I'm gonna do this, and then those people see this person get healthier, lose weight, and get more happy and shit. And then you let them people come, hey, bro, I ain't gonna lie, man. What'd you do to do that? You gotta let them inquire on their own. Because I think it's anytime you're trying to change a person, because that's essentially what you're doing. When you want them to act away. You want them to not be who they are. You want them to change them and be this person that reacts how I want them to react, right?
Right.
And I think anytime we in that space, it's just disappointment. It's just gonna make shit harder. But I think, like you said, just love from a distance. Set up your boundaries. Meet me. I want to do this too, Dad, but I wanted to do it in this way. I gave you this chance and that chance. Now it's on my turn. I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. I think that's a good way to look at it. You know.
Period.
Got that. We might have to do an update on that.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to do an update later.
Definitely.
You know?
I haven't been able to communicate with him just yet, but he's been communicating with people, and they calling me like, "Guess what?" And I'm like,
yeah.
But it's gonna happen. Like I sent him a text, "Happy birthday," just like he sent me a text, "Happy birthday."
Yeah.
I kind of kept it cool, but
when I look at stuff like that, I almost try to zoom out.
Yeah.
Take your emotions out of it, take the history out of it and all that, and just look at it in the simplest form. This man is in Atlanta, could be doing a million things, could be all whatever, and the thought is crossing his mind, I want to call my kids, I need to do this. Like, take everything else out and just focus on that, and then be like, okay, that's what's happening. Now this is how I want to react. You know what I mean? I think emotions is they cloud a lot of shit, a lot of actions.
And I feel like there's more to the story to that. I'm gonna find out more.
Like, heaven forbid, like his health is bad, like a lot of shit like that happen. When people start reaching out,
I started looking at things.
Yeah.
I feel like I think it has to do with the wife that he married. I don't think things are working out with that either. So I'm just looking at all the different things that, like, why are you calling this now? 17 years later?
Yeah. Yep.
17 years later. Okay.
Something going on.
Okay.
Yeah. Now that'd be interesting to see. Yeah. And I know I'm probably gonna have those situations too. Like way down the road, man, let me reach out to this person. I feel like it's just energy.
Yeah.
Pent up, all this unresolved, loose ties.
And it's a lot too.
Yeah. I'm just like, imagine that, like being on Earth. That's why I couldn't never bear to like leave my kids or anything like that. I couldn't bear the fact that like these people that I brought into this world be indifferent about me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's my dad, but I mean, we don't talk, but it's whatever.
Yeah.
That's some cold, if you really sit and think about that as a father, that's some cold, sick shit.
Yeah.
That's why I like when men, like, they kind of choose that road of like, man, fuck it, they mom take care.
And I feel like
you ain't thought about that part when you get old. You feel me? Like,
and I feel like that there is why you are who you are today. That's why you had to experience that in order for you to be a great father.
Yeah.
In order for you to be there for your children.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And that's the same with my brother. Like, I tell him that all the time. My brother I love how he's one of the best fathers I have ever seen. And it stems from him not having that great relationship with our dad. Like, it had to happen that way for him to be like, I'm never going to be like that.
Yeah.
I will know, they're going to know me.
Yeah.
And they're going to love me to death. And I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that they are good.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget, like, this is what, like, really, and I tell this story all the time. I'll never forget my brother working 2 jobs and getting off of a graveyard job and me coming to visit him in Colorado. And I'm like, what is that noise downstairs? I go downstairs and I see him half sleep putting up streamers because my nephew's birthday is the next day. So it's just like, when I saw that, I was just like,
yep. All
like, that's the father we should have had growing up, and that's the father who he is today.
And it drives him. It drives you. It literally drives you. Because it's crazy that it's literally a negative thing that happened, but that shit, that's what like keeps you going.
Makes you want to be a better person.
I mean? That's like when shit gets rocky and you just want everything in your body wants to be like, man, fuck this shit. I could go do this today.
Cause you're a superhero.
That's what. Yeah, and it's like, nope. I gotta.
Your kids see you as a superhero.
Yeah, so it keeps you in the game, and that's the best way I can describe, like, when people, like, we talk about like why fucked up shit happens, like why this person get killed or this and that. We not meant to understand it at that moment, but like later down the road, like if this didn't happen, this trauma didn't happen, it wouldn't, like, that's like the weird whatever up there or whatever, how you want to call it, like that shit, it makes sense of everything, you know what I mean? No matter how bad it is, there's a reason why that happened, you know what I mean? So
And
that's a good.
yeah, in our life we have a purpose, and we got to make sure we stick to it 24/7 because we doing it for them.
Yeah, for sure.
We're putting in work for them.
That's a good. I want to leave off on that. That's
Yes,
a good one.
yes.
When it's just keep. That's why I've been putting up. Just keep shooting, like for real. Like no matter how fucked up shit is and shit's happening to you, there's a reason why it's
We're
making you
still
stronger.
here.
It's really. It's like cliche or whatever, but like I can give hell examples of when that shit's happened. When I was like, man, why is this happening? And then years later down the road, you're like, but I ain't gonna lie, if that shit didn't happen, I wouldn't have did this.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have learned to do that and moved and did.
We survived.
You know what
We
I'm saying?
survived. We're survivors. Bay
Yeah.
Area, Baydestrians, we're survivors.
Yep, for sure.
And we survived COVID, and we dealt with so much loss.
Mm-hmm.
We dealt with so much loss, but we're still here and we're still standing. So why not follow your purpose? Why not follow what you're supposed to do in life?
Exactly.
Don't sleep on that shit.
Exactly.
Just keep moving.
Yep, exactly. That's it. I think that's it. I think we probably got time limit because I know when my hips start hurting, but I ain't gonna lie.
I ain't gonna lie, I was adjusting.
My shit hurting. But yeah, we out beneath the ink with Miss Janae. I filtered out all the women that ain't feeling what I'm saying, boy. People gonna be like, I ain't even getting tatted by this motherfucker anymore. How you turn this off? We out. Oh shit, that was 2:24.
2 hours?
Yep.
Damn.